I smacked my shin really hard today on a shelf when I was washing my car, and now it's got like a lump on it where it got hit so hard and it like swells up. It really hurts.
Any lump enjoyers? Welcome to GameList. That's gonna be our intro. Yeah. I want to hear what everyone thinks about Colin's leg lump right now in the comments. Leave a 5-star review. Welcome to GameList. I don't know. After dark.
It's kind of what
GameList
like.
Unhinged.
Yeah.
If you're watching the video version, I'm sitting in like relative darkness now, which is how I want to do things in the future.
Should I want to take. Could I turn down my light? Then I can sit in darkness.
Do you like it more? Are you more comfortable?
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Then roll with it, dude. Let's do it.
I'm like purplish and you're bluish. It works. Our colors.
Yeah, correct. It's not good. It's not a fun visual, but there's going to be B-roll. You know what I mean? We had a pretty professional looking podcast for just a couple of guys.
Yeah, that's true.
I think.
Sounding.
I don't know. If you listen to this regularly, this is going to be a slightly different episode because for the first time in 2.5 years of doing GameList, we missed a month. We missed a month, man.
Yeah, we
were busy.
It was totally my fault. I've been very busy.
It's okay.
But yeah. Well, I guess I'll give the rundown of what I've been up to this past month. So let's see, last episode we had was in March. So in March I had I actually don't remember what I said the last time we were recording, but I had Match, which is where I got to see where I matched for residency. So I'll be working at a hospital in Memphis for the next year, hopefully too. I got engaged in March.
W. That we knew.
Yeah. Okay. I couldn't remember if that was there or not.
We had a segment.
Oh yes, that's right. I remember that now. Yeah. But there's that, and then all of April I actually had to come back to school for a month, and we had the most intense prep month ever. Because after graduation, we have to take boards to get licensed in each state. So we have to take clinical boards and law boards. So even though I'll be a doctor on Saturday, I won't be licensed and ready to practice until I pass those boards. So I came back, we had class 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and had 3 to 4 exams every week. So it was a very busy month of me studying, and you'll see today, I didn't really play that many games, which was unfortunate, but yeah, I've been grinding.
Well, the good news is for the last 2 months, all I've done is take naps and play video games. So it's gonna be a heavy show of the weird dog shit that I've been enjoying. But the idea for this show tonight, and hear me out, I don't know, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. Is that the right term? I think so.
Yeah.
Count my eggs, count my chickens before they hatch.
Yeah.
But I would like this to be sort of like a interesting episode where maybe we find the right groove of this is kind of more along the lines of what we do in the future anyway, because I think when we really think about what makes GameList good, and when I listen back to episodes from years prior or months prior, the segments that I like the most are the middle 20 minutes through the hour and a half mark, where we've loosened up a little bit, we've talked, we've done our intro, which is kind of sometimes a little bit stiff, we go back and forth, we get the rust off, we talk about our first game and a half, and then when we really kind of get into it and start hashing it out, chopping it up about games and going back and forth and being cool with going off topic and talking about some random things that maybe wasn't even on the list, is where GameList is kind of at its best. So what we're experimenting with is we're not going to talk about any news on this episode. In the future, we'll talk about maybe a slight few things of news going forward.
Yeah, there's going to be,
it's really interesting.
There's going to be a little bit of news just tied into the games that I'm playing, but nothing not just a straight up headline, at least.
Right.
So, yeah.
I don't want to be I don't want to do before we did this, when I was making the stack, I was talking to Colin and I was I've got 5 pieces of news, and they're Marvel's 1943 re-revealed, multiverse is coming back at the end of May, and I was I don't want to fucking just do this headline wow, multiverses, what do you think, Colin? Unless it's topical for us. Some days we'll go live and there'll be some news about the Xbox Activision merger or something, and it'll be top of mind and we'll do it. And then we'll still have those one-off episodes where you and I especially coming up, I say this now, but truly the next time that we really start looking at recording and making content again, this is right now, we're recording on May 2nd. We'll be June, first week of June, and starting on June 7th, it's Summer Game Fest. and
Yeah.
all of the crazy stuff that's going on with like Microsoft conference just got announced for like the 10th or the 11th. There'll be a Ubisoft event. Presumably there'll be a PlayStation and Nintendo event.
Which just a heads up, I'm trying to get tickets for that for my graduation present. So
Yeah.
I might be at Summer Games Fest if I can snag tickets. If I can't get tickets, I won't be
So
there.
dope.
But if I get tickets, I'll be
Yeah.
there.
But we'll probably do what we usually do and put out like a couple episodes and kind of catch up in between as things are happening, or if if we're both around right after the Xbox Direct, we'll hop on and do a 45-minute episode where we break down everything we saw and what we think about it and that kind of thing.
Sure.
And then if it's real big news, then we hit it on the next episode. But for all intents and purposes, like I don't think there's anybody listening to GameList who at the end of the show gets out their pen and paper and they go, "Okay, time to find out the games that are coming out next month." This is where I get my source for the release date of Braid Anniversary Edition. If I wasn't for them, I wouldn't have known that April 30th is that big day. So because of that, we have a segment of like, oh, this is coming out sooner, that's what we're excited for. Maybe we have preview segments and stuff like that. But for the most part, I want to wrap this show around what we've been playing and enjoying and what like conversations about video games we feel like having. So this one in particular is going to be very unhinged, and depending on how it goes, which I think it'll go well, we will try to sort of embrace that going forward and try to have like a more chill vibe.
Yeah, and I like that too, because we're not a media outlet. We're not here to bring you headlines. We're here to have a good time and vibe. And I'm excited to see kind of if we lean more into that, because it's a personality podcast. It's not a Game Informer podcast. So
right. It could be, we grow to that level. It gets as professional, or if we were like collaborating more on things like that. I think that's what both of us really enjoy most from the content creation sphere.
Absolutely.
But in the meantime, let's just kick it and talk about video games, man.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about first?
Probably like
Booty?
I think about Eve from Stellar Blade a lot.
I do too. Huh? Yes, please. Give me more.
Kind of where I'm at on that is like, this game is such a big surprise.
Have you been playing it?
You haven't got to it. I only played the demo very recently though, okay. And then I've been watching a lot of gameplay as well, and I gotta say, like, I'm pretty. We'll get into my Souls experience here in a little bit. I've been digging into something that I realized I left off of the stack, but I've been playing some Another Crab's Treasure as well. Let's just talk about both of those during the Stellar Blade segment. So I've been playing Stellar Blade and Another Crab's Treasure, and where I'm at right now is really in a weird place for Soulsborne games. So obviously, it's a loose fit for all of those. Like, Stellar Blade is a really interesting one too. It's almost more like a Neo or like a.
You know what I compare it most to? Jedi Survivor, because it's not.
Oh yeah, that's probably a pretty good call.
Yeah, it's not quite on the level of like a Souls-like, but it's close enough that you can feel the DNA. But I think it's close. It's very close to a Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, it feels way better than I thought it would. And I gotta say, that game does a lot more than I thought it would do. And then Another Crab's Treasure is surprisingly Souls-likey, where it feels very traditional. It might not be like as tight controls-wise, and obviously it has a really wild theme. But I played both of those. And then on top of it, I have like this looming feeling. And you're more of a Souls veteran, right? Have you played all of them? Where are you at on those?
Yeah, I've played almost all of them. I can't think of a single Souls game that I haven't played. So yeah.
You played Demons, Dark 1, 2, 3, Sekiro, Bloodborne, Elden Ring.
Yes, I have. I haven't played all of them to completion. I've played probably half of them to completion. But yes, I have played all of them.
All right, so you're in.
Yeah.
I'm like nervous about Elden Ring.
Really?
And yeah, and I have been for a while. So I actually streamed like an episode of Elden Ring.
I saw you streaming it
maybe a week ago. And the idea was like, let me try to get back in and like reacquainted. And I feel like there's a lot of people that are doing this and kind of dealing with this like right now, is like this idea of like, fuck man, I haven't played Elden Ring in 2 years. And because of that, feel like I'm about to be expected to hop into a DLC that thinks I just beat the game. And I know that's not the case. Like, they know when they're releasing it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to kick my ass if I don't have any base code at all.
No, I think it will.
So because of that,
Souls DLCs in the past have been harder than the base game. And like, You
Yeah.
need that skill set.
It's worrisome. And I made a pretty bold decision. You might not like to hear it, and I don't know how people are going to feel about it, but
Did
I
you
played
abandon
another
Dr.
Crab's
M?
Treasure. I think I'm out on the
No.
Souls-like genre.
What?
Yeah. So I played another Crab's Treasure. I played it for about 3 hours the first time I played it, and then I played it for about an hour and a half trying to fight this boss. And I was playing the boss, and the whole time I was playing it, I was frustrated. I was mad. Yes, it felt good to finally beat the boss, but while I was doing it, I was kind of verbalizing my feelings on like Souls-likes and like this like back and forth, and like I understand the value, and sometimes it is really fun. But there is just something about like the rhythm to those games that I don't personally enjoy. And at this point, because if you listen to GameList, you got to hear my entire story arc of like I bought into Elden Ring and played like the opening hours of Bloodborne and a couple hours of Dark Souls 3 to get hype for this kind of franchise, to get hype for Elden Ring. And I played Elden Ring and I loved it. It was my number 3 game of the year in 2022.
Yeah.
2022.
2022.
But I think I'm just out on it. Like, I think I gave it my time, and I don't think I'm in. Like, I was trying so hard to play Souls-like leading up to this and get back into Elden Ring, and it just frustrates me more than it does good for me. All I remember is the bad.
Here's what I'll say. I think that you can like certain Souls-like games and not like others. Like, I don't... Like, personally, I love Dark Souls 3. I love Elden Ring. I don't like Bloodborne. I didn't beat Bloodborne because I just couldn't get into it. I hated Lies of P, and I beat that stupid game. You know, I think it's hard to like kind of make a blanket statement like that. I'm curious, have you gone back and listened to what you said about Elden Ring back in the day? Like,
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I feel like I remember it pretty well.
Well, I'm just curious if you went back and listened to what you said, if you still had those feelings, or if it was just like I don't know, you've experienced it and now you're done experiencing it. Or maybe it's just you need to find the right one. Like, it's just...
I think that might be it. I think maybe I'm out, like, because I'm not a big, like... I don't know. No, that's not true. I was about to say I'm not a big, like, replayer of games either, because I kind of am. But, like, for those, I don't have the ambition to go back to it. I think what it is that, like, I think...
Do you think it was a hype wave?
Of Elden Ring... So yeah, that's what it is. It was the pull of Elden Ring. It was the lead up to Elden Ring that caught me. Like, I was like, I'm a hype beast, man. I want to be into this thing that's coming out that people are excited for and get in on it. And I got in on it so far. Like, I went all the way in. And now that it's DLC, I think that I'm like nervous about it in some way. I've got some kind of complex about it. And because of that feeling, I think I'm just going to bail on it and then wait and see if like Elden Ring 2 or Dark Souls 4 or whatever they do next as like a brand new base coat and entry pulls me in.
I feel like skipping it... I understand skipping it because I also don't normally love DLC, but FromSoft puts their best stuff in their DLC. Like, their best work is always in their DLC. And like, hop in it with me and we'll play through it like we did the start of Elden Ring and a lot of Elden Ring, you know, and we can kind of bounce off of each other until you get back into that rhythm, because it really is just a rhythm thing. I think
maybe...
I think you would like it a lot more than... I think you're overthinking it, really.
Yeah, you might be right. Either way, I fucking folded on all of these. I was like, Stellar Blade, I end on the demo, even though I'm very fond of that game and I've enjoyed watching it boing. But, you know, between that and then another Crab's Treasure, which I did it, I beat that boss, and I alt F4'd on stream. I was like, I'm done, I'm deleting it, I'm live deleting it, I don't want to go any further. Like, I got what I need out of it. Like, I'm not feeling this, like, throw myself at the boss thing. Like, that's what I do in video games already because I'm so bad at them. You know, like it throws back to me like fighting Roxas as a kid for 7.5 hours in Kingdom Hearts 2 and just bashing my face off the wall and be like, one of these times I'm gonna get it to click.
Didn't you do that like 2 years ago?
I did that like 6 months ago and 2 years ago and 5 years ago and 7 years ago. And
I think sometimes the Souls game just doesn't click, but that doesn't mean all of them won't click. You know, if I had have played Bloodborne and not liked it and then been like, well, from, you know, Elden Ring, it's just not going to hit. I would have missed out on a lot of stuff. So it's definitely, I think you should probably give it a chance, but I get being out on another Crab's Treasure. It does not interest me at all. I feel like they should have just made a platform, because the art's great, but I don't want to play a Souls-like as a crab in the ocean with Q crab. I don't know.
It's surprisingly, I would give that, if you're on Game Pass, I would give that game a shake.
Yeah, I don't.
If you're into Souls-likes, like really into them, if you've played all of the games, I would go for it. Aesthetically, I think it's an interesting like dichotomy between the two. I think that it's kind of fun to have that, and it does some really interesting stuff. Like, I think that game is a little funnier than most games. Like, it knows what it is. It's a little tongue in cheek, but it also does like it has really good atmosphere, surprisingly. And it threw me for a loop in some of the stuff that it did. Surprisingly high quality video game, and it's on Game Pass. And Stellar Blade's got a beefy demo on PlayStation.
It does. It's a good demo.
Yeah,
I haven't played it yet. I will. I just haven't had time.
A lot of the Twitch categories are really popping with Stellar Blade right now. Seems to be a really really interesting category. It's mopping the fucking floor with another Crab's Treasure. I'll tell you that.
I mean, pretty good. Crab versus hot Korean girl.
Correct.
Yeah.
Easy. Easy, bro.
Eve's very attractive. They did a good job.
I would ditch. What do you think about like attractive? What do you think of attractive girls? What do you think?
I
of
like them.
I feel like I'm a little bit like in like my own box because, you know, I'm like surrounded and just chronically online. But like I'm assuming the rest of the world thinks it's weird when people think that video game girls are hot, right? Or like attractive or guys, you know, like I don't know. You ever seen Ken Masters, bro? Guy's fucking hunk.
I don't know who that is. Is that?
It's Ken from Street Fighter. He wears red.
Oh, gotcha.
Blonde
I don't know.
Blonde babe.
I think there's of course the bad stigma around gamers because a lot of them are weird and smelly and say stupid things online because they have a different opinion than you. And I think the problem there is like
this feels targeted.
Sorry, Jake. I think
you've never smelled me.
I think the overlap is unfortunate that gamers are just the people that are chronically online. Like for example, people love to read their smut and they think that people in the books are hot that they've never even seen. No different than looking at hot video game characters. I just think it's a bad overlap versus the people who should not talk online.
Yeah, I think it's like because gamers tend to be so fucking, I don't know, antisocial and like you just start associating it with like fucking, oh, this guy wants to date this inanimate object, this girl that doesn't exist type of thing. And I think it's more along the lines for most normal people, like, I don't know, people probably like looked at the Mona Lisa and they were like, wow, what a beautiful gal, you know, like back in the day, right?
Absolutely.
That's like that's not an unreasonable thing. People look at art all the time and be like, oh, what's a great painting of a beautiful person.
Well, I mean,
or something
think
like
about
that.
Hentai or anime, you know, like
I do all the time.
Yeah. You don't even watch anime. That's crazy.
I know I don't like hentai or anime. But
yeah,
it's very funny
I
to
don't
me.
know. I thought you were gonna go with the question of like, should we have hot girls as main characters?
Oh no, we're having the way different conversation than the rest of the internet is right now.
Yeah, I was like,
you know what side we fall on. The answer is fucking yes.
Yeah, give me hot girls and hot guys. Absolutely.
Listen,
when I look at a video game,
I don't really give a fuck. But
and I was gonna say I'm okay with ugly people too. But like when I look at a video
play fucking
game,
Horizon with that disgusting
hey
woman.
now, Aloy is beautiful. I look at it and I'm like, if I'm gonna play a piece of fiction, why shouldn't everyone be hot? Like it's fiction, let everyone be hot.
Bro, it's the age old. It took me a long time to get there. Like I always played like male characters for a very long time.
I always play girls
in video games.
Always.
And it wasn't until like probably my late 20s where I was like, I started seeing the Coomer side of things where they're like, well, if I'm going to look at this fucking back and ass all day, it might as well be a back and ass that looks like something I'd like to enjoy myself. Like, and now I get it. Me and the squad hopping on Final Fantasy as cat girls, you know?
Yeah.
It's that fucking meme, dude. But I don't know.
Speaking of cat,
weird discourse online, so I figured I'd take it in a completely different direction.
I do agree though. Like it's
video game girls are hot. Stop trying to fucking avoid it because you agree and you think it's weird.
Yeah, and stop complaining when they're hot but not showing enough. I don't know. There's some weird discourse on this game online that I'm not 100% up on, but it's weird.
It's bizarre.
Well,
All right, Stellar Blade.
yeah, good game.
That's it for
We
Stellar
think.
Blade,
We're
Elden
not
Ring
sure.
DLC, and another Crab's Treasure.
Yeah, woo. Although,
Anyway,
quick aside,
Eve,
I do really want to play
Wood.
this game because it has a lot of.
I feel like you're
Nier
going
DNA.
to play this game.
I will.
Yeah,
will.
dude, the soundtrack is bonkers. It's so good.
Yeah.
A lot of like
wait.
female voices harmonizing over like light fantasy music.
Yeah.
100%. That's exactly it. I've been watching this one girl stream it, and she's like a pretty like big streamer, like a couple hundred people at the very least in her chat. And one of like the most common things, like I watch like a 6-hour stream of Stellar Blade, and I would say like 20 times during that, people be like, is this the music for the game, or are you playing this music over it? And she's like, no, I would never play like music over a video game. It just like, nor would I listen to this music outside of a video game. It's just one of those things where it's like, it seems weird and off almost in some ways, but it fits if you kind of know like that aesthetic. Yeah, for sure. That's the best stuff. That's what Square Enix has been doing for a long time with like their Niers and Final Fantasies and stuff like that. Is Nier Square Enix? It is, huh?
Yeah, it is. It was
makes sense.
It was. What team made Nier? Am I dumb? I wanted to say Platinum.
It's old boy, dude. No, it's not Platinum.
It's Yoko Taro, right?
Yoko Taro. It's exactly who it is. Have you ever seen the pre-order video for Nier Automata? Or it might be for Nier Replicant, where he like gets on the ground and starts rolling around. See if you can find the video. We'll watch it together.
Okay.
Like, hey, you're looking for him wearing like that moon mask. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? That mask. We'll see if we can do it. We'll just do that. We'll do it live. But I can actually take this in another direction too, where I didn't add this to the list because I just started playing it off stream recently. I've been like eyeballing since we talked about it. You absolutely found it, but it doesn't usually lead with this. Oh yeah, it does. Nier Automata t-shirt. Nier Automata t-shirt. Audio listeners, it's just Yoko Taro fucking rolling around on the ground wearing that mask.
That's hilarious.
It's very good. It's worth a Google and a watch, no doubt.
Yes,
but absolutely. He's a wild man. He's got to have another Nier in the can right now, right? We're gonna see a new Nier revealed next year.
I hope so. I want one. Nier Automata was phenomenal. It was so good.
Yeah, I've put in like probably 5 or 6 hours into Nier Automata twice. Like I've gotten further both times, but it's never been like the game that I go to. I really think I should stream that. Probably when they announce a new one, I'll get on the bandwagon and be like,
you should.
I'm all the way in because the time that I play on it, I'm always hot on it. It just hasn't clicked.
And I think you have to play.
But I've been
3 times to get the true ending.
I'm never gonna end up doing that. I'm gonna play that game until I hit credits, and then.
But it's kind of worth it.
I'm going to. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna watch it all on the internet. Though. I don't want to fucking play through it.
You play as different characters each time, though. So.
Oh, that's interesting. Maybe I will play it. Yeah. I don't know. It depends on how much it clicks. That's not really my kind of jam.
That's fair.
I like seeing credits and being done.
I
know about the. Yeah. We won't get into spoilers for Nier Automata here.
Yeah.
Not now. Not today.
Not now.
But So I've been on the lookout for a while. There's been a game that you and I talked about way back. That you played some of, Octopath Traveler 2, and I finally was like, I've seen it go on sale for like 40 something bucks a few times, and right now it's on sale for like 36 or something like that on Steam. And I was like, all right, you know what, let's do it. So I played the demo first. The demo has like a really beefy prologue of up to 3 hours where you pick a character and then you can transfer it to the full version of the game. And I was like, if I play the prologue and I'm still looking for more, I'll buy it for 36 bucks. So I played the prologue, put in like 2.5 hours, and then I was like, I want to do the next like main story thing, and then bought the game, and I played it now for like probably 10 or 11 hours. Like I'm 4 like pretty beefy play sessions off stream into it, and I'm awesome. Dude, I love this game.
It's so good. This game. I'm so pissed I have not gotten further in it. I had just recruited like the cat girl or whatever. And I was.
There's a fucking cat girl?
Yeah, there is. There's a cat girl.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. I just recruited her and I just fell off. Like, I don't know why. And I was thinking about it the other day because I'm packing up. You can see behind me, my shelves are empty and I've got boxes and stuff. But I'm packing up and I found the physical because Allie actually got me a physical for Christmas because I didn't have it.
Nice.
And I'm like, dang, I need to play this game again. It's so good.
Yeah.
So many games.
I started with like some kind of like white mage, has some healing stuff, like a cleric type beat out on the east, far east. And then I went south and picked up the thief, the regular thief, Thornay.
If you keep going further south, the one in the south and in the middle is the cat girl. But I did the
Nice.
thief.
Yeah,
I
that's
did the
kind of the
thief
plan.
the first time. Like
I'm going clockwise across, and
Okay.
it's fucking really good, man.
It's great.
Like,
It's great.
I am blown away at how it reminds me a lot of like Dragon Quest 11, which I actually have a Dragon Quest 11 slide too. It's kind of annoying, but you want to roll that?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
number
yeah.
16 or something.
Yeah, I'll find it.
But both of those games are like really good examples of like a 2D and a 3D JRPG that is very modern, or I guess it's very old school, but with like these really important modern quality of life sensibilities built into them that make them such an enjoyable experience. Like if you're a fan of older 3D Final Fantasies with Dragon Quest and older 2D Final Fantasies with Octopath Traveler 2, they're such great transitionary games to hop into them and have like a more frictionless experience than you would probably have with, I guess, more like, you know, the actual old games that they're inspired by.
Yeah.
You know, you go to Chrono Trigger, you go to Final Fantasy VI, you're going to run into some quality of life stuff and some annoying things that aren't really easily solved. The closest you can get would be like pay a pixel remaster that has a fast forward or something like that. But the fact that you have like auto battling options in Dragon Quest XI, or like game speed options in Octopath Traveler 2 is just so fucking cool. It's really, really nice and like a good way to enjoy it. I started playing Dragon Quest 11 on stream randomly. Go ahead.
Did you ever play Ni no Kuni? Those are games.
Yeah, Wrath of the White Witch.
Yeah, I own both of them, and I want to play them, but I've just never gotten around to them.
I always associate Ni no Kuni to me are like the modern Dark Cloud 1 and 2. There's two of them.
Okay.
They're like an interesting styled JRPG that kind of have like a weird place and no, like, I don't know, they just have like a weird place in the zeitgeist, I feel like, where I just always associate those two together. Like the PS3 PS4 era is the Ni no Kuni 1 and 2, and the PS2 era is the Dark Cloud 1 and 2. Games that are better than they should be, both kind of different from one another, but also pretty much like universally underrated, but critically acclaimed for the most part.
Yeah, definitely. It's very similar because they're kind of like different genres, but very similar to like Dragon's Dogma reception and stuff. How they're just a weird niche, like weirdo game, but everybody that plays them loves them.
It's like a small percentage of like people's like favorite video game. Like there's just like some people that really love this shit for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good, but both really good games. I started playing Dragon Quest 11 on like a cozy like afternoon. It was kind of rainy and shitty out, and those ended up being such fun like little streams because of the pacing of Dragon Quest 11, which you haven't played any of, correct?
Correct.
It's got kind of a beefy intro, but like the pacing of a Dragon Quest 11 or the Dragon Quest 11 story, outside of having some like big overarching story beats, is you kind of have this rhythm of you go to a new town, and that town is very like visually and aesthetically like distinct, right? Like you go there and it might be like a, you know, what's a good example? Like a coastal resort town, right? You roll up to this resort town, and when you get there, there's something that associates itself with the main quest that you need to do. And when you get there, you find a townsperson that's having a problem. Old Johnny got stolen by monsters, and he's in the cave nearby. So your rhythm is always get to JRPG Town, find out issue in JRPG Town, venture out to the open world to fight monsters, collect treasures, battle, go to a dungeon, which is usually a cave or a castle or some sort of like forest or something like that, fight through all the stuff, beat the boss at the end of that dungeon, go back to the city, resolve the conflict, head out and do it again. And these take place in these like 1.5 to 3 hour chunks of story that end up lending themselves so nicely to like individual streams, because you do that, I mean, realistically 14 times, you know, in the game, and that's how your like game progress sort of like continues on. And it's such a nice vibe, man. Their bedtime, I read a Kotaku article when this game came out like 7 years ago, and it was Dragon Quest 11 is bedtime stories, and it's like the best the best definition of like that video game ever. It's such a cozy RPG, just one of the absolute greats.
See, I've been trying to play stuff. I've been trying to find like a cozy game like that. I started, which I think you also played, Dave the Diver.
Oh yeah, I just started.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I
Like,
love it, man. I was really impressed with how much I liked it.
I really liked it for like the first 2 hours. And now I'm
Hmm.
getting really tired because it's like, oh my gosh, I have to dive for 30 minutes to get to like progress anything. And I wish there was some way to like uh streamline the whole diving. I don't like the diving. I think the diving's boring. But
Ooh, I'm the other way around.
I like the cooking and like the
Oh, I
management.
hate that shit.
I love the management.
We
of
should
the
play it together. We'll
sushi.
pass the controller.
Honestly, yeah, because I'm like looking at it and I'm like, how bad's the platinum on this game? Because I have to look at that at all like every game.
Yeah, so
'cause I'm
it's
like,
got a
psycho.
really weird rhythm to it. Like it's almost like a diner dash overcooked type thing going on when you're in the what's it called? Like in the serving the sushi at the restaurant or whatever.
Boncho's sushi. Right?
Yeah, that sounds right. And then when you are diving, it's like a 2D side scrolling exploration combat Metroidvania. Fucking I don't know. It's a very weird video game, man. Like super unique. You don't mix up Dave the Diver with anything else.
No, absolutely not.
But yeah, because of those, it is like, I think with me liking one of those modes and you liking the other mode, I bet there's a lot of people that are in our boat where someone probably often likes one more than the other,
and
for
like,
better or worse.
There's a whole like farming sim that you get to later on, and it's
I don't
like
think I've seen that.
there's so much to this game, and it just keeps getting
I'm looking
more.
at the B-roll that you're posting, and I'm like, I don't know.
It's crazy, isn't it? There's so much stuff. Like you start out and you're like just swimming in the coral reef, like getting a couple fish, making some sushi, and then as it goes on, it just gets more and more bizarre. And it's like I like it, but I don't know how long I can keep it up, just because there's some weird. I don't know. It's good. It's very cozy, very cute, but I feel like I need more instant gratification, but it's odd because this game is built for instant gratification. Like everything you do, there's like a little thing ticking up every time you serve stuff at your sushi shop. You see a little bar graph go up of your profits and stuff, and it's like,
right.
oh, if I'm not getting exponential profit, I'm a failure as a CEO. I've got to
right.
Yeah, but
yeah. It's interesting.
Good.
It hasn't really like called to me too much as far as like after starting it, where are we going with this or anything.
Yeah.
But I liked the time that I spent with it, and I could see it being like a game that I would need to find like a good rhythm in which to play it at. Like it feels like a good I play for an hour a night game for a month type of thing. Put in 30 hours in Dave the Diver and then be done with it forever.
And I think my problem is just that hour turns into one dive, and then you feel like you're not making any progress. But it's good. It's really good. I think my problem is it got hyped up too much on podcasts and reviews over this past year, and then by the time I finally got to it, I was expecting like this profound experience, but it's just a nice time. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah.
It's a.
Did you finish it?
It's a weird one to. No, did you?
No, I haven't had a chance yet.
Oh, dude, we look bad right now. We need to play a game. Next game we talk about has to be something that I finished. All right.
Okay. Wait.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
It's like, oh, I played the demo. Oh no, I quit the game.
How far did you
I
get
put
in
an hour
Dragon's Dogma? I think you got
further than I thought I would get. I got like probably 10 hours in. No, more than that.
Oh, okay.
I'm probably like 16 hours in.
Okay.
I've got like 7 beefy parts that are all like 2 hours or more each. So I got pretty far. I got to like pretty deep into like the second main area of Dragon's Dogma, or third, depending on how you look at it.
Oh, okay. The city or the desert area.
Desert area.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just arrived there.
Okay, cool. So we got a decent amount to talk about.
Yeah.
Where are you at on that game? Like, let me ask you straight up. Where's it gonna rank on your game of the year? Like, if it continues with where it's at.
Probably top 5. If it continues on where it's at. I really like it. I like the slow-paced nature of it. Just vibing with my crew, having like really crazy fights with these huge monsters. It's great. Part of me wishes I didn't spend so much time. I'm probably 20 hours in because I spent so much time diving deep in the first area. I think it's great a lot of the times, and then other times I think its quest structure could be a little bit more hand-holdy, because this game does not hold your hand at all, and it just says, go there, and you kind of
It's
figure it
so
out.
stuck up its own ass, dude. I fucking
It's very
like.
obtuse at times.
I like this game a lot,
Yeah.
and then I also fucking like. It's like I like this game more than I dislike this game, and I love this game more than I hate this game.
Yeah.
But I also really passionately fucking hate this game about like some really specific shit. Like it's such a weird video game.
It is.
And
odd.
I think that it's like my biggest problem is that like, and I say this every time, is like this game's so stuck up its own ass. Like it thinks it's so fucking cool for not telling you where the quest is. Like, oh my god, Dragon's Dogma. All games should be like you. Oh no, this is not. It's for a certain type of gamer that's gonna really be paying it. Oh, give me the fucking option to just be like, where the fuck do I go? I'm lost right now, and I'm frustrated. You have no mercy rule. You have no respect for your player who plays games at a different pace. The biggest problem that I had was like when I even dared to take like a 2-day break from the game to get in and then try to figure out where the fuck I was or what was happening in this quest or the other quest was nearly impossible, to the point of like if I didn't have like chat that remembered or like notes taken down or the VOD to go and review, there are things that I would just miss out on forever. And I know people are listening to this like, well, that's what it would be like in real life. No, in real life I would walk into the bar and say, who saw the kid got abducted? Like I wouldn't be like, have to go listen to this conversation to see if anybody knows anything about the kid who disappeared. You know what I mean? It's a very like, it's trying so hard to be fucking immersive and cool that I think it loses out on a bit of like reality, and in some ways it's punishing.
That's kind of what, because a while back I predicted that this would do something similar to Street Fighter 6 on having kind of like a more simplified layout, optional layout to kind of help people get into the game initially. It does not. It doesn't hold your hand at all. And like one of my biggest complaints is I found out that if you progress the story, you can actually cut off and miss certain quest lines. So I was like, oh, I don't want to cut off those quest lines.
Of course.
So there was this. Of
course, every game stuck up its own ass does that. Fucking Elden Ring, eat your heart out, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, it looks like you didn't talk to the princess fucking fuckface fast enough. It looks like that quest line's over. Try again in another 60 hours.
There was a one quest line where it was like,
so cool.
You have to walk by this stand while somebody's arguing at the stand.
Mm-hmm. So it's that little kid with the fucking stank face, right?
Yeah, I would walk by it and no one would be arguing there. No one would ever be there, and I'm like, what is going on? So it turns out that's actually like the prince of the original area. So you can go find him in the castle, and I had to carry him all the way down from the castle to like the commons area in the main city. I don't remember what it's called. I carried him all the way down, and you have to throw him very specifically at like the corner of the stand, and it will click and the cutscene will start, and then you can progress that quest. So I spent like
how much Googling or YouTube video watching did you fucking spend?
A lot. I was on Reddit a lot trying to find him, and then from there it was probably an hour trying to find him and
that's
then get him there.
That's the biggest pain point for me.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely got some problems, but it's also like so magical at other times that I adore it. And like when you're just out in the wild chilling, fighting things with your mates, and you give them a little high five after a fight.
Oh, dude, the fucking fist bump is so sick, dude.
I love it.
The dapping up everybody is such a good vibe when you're out there questing. Like there are things that I'm super negative on it right now with like what I'm thinking, but I have this one VOD. I think it's like if I did 7 episodes, it's probably episode 4 or 5 where I was like, I did my first 2 episodes and they were like 2 hours each. And then like the third one, I was like, my plan is to just like live in this world for like 5 hours. And it's like the longest of all the streams that I did. And I was like, I need things to click. I need to get out of this fucking city that I'm in. They put you into that big ass city too fast. And then it gives you like 3 or 4 quests to do. And out of those quests, 3 of them are such dog shit. They're like, go to the ball. And then the other one's like, find hidden prints.
Those are annoying.
And then the other one is, yeah, they're all like in the city, loaf around, like fucking mechanically, robotically move through these environments to figure out what you're doing. It's all very clunky and annoying. But then one of the quests is like, go help three areas, like 3 people need help in the wilderness. And that is the quest that I took that day.
Yep.
And going out there and just being out in the world and adventuring and working on the pawn system and seeing which classes I liked for both me and my pawn was really fun. And I have this video I think it's called like my Dragon's Dogma 2 No Good Very Bad Day, where I went on this adventure and everything that could have gone wrong.
Oh my god,
and
dude.
it just led
It
it just
happens.
led to the fucking most fun where I took I was like, I need to go back to this city. So I took a fucking carriage to that city and I started fighting a big ass troll that interrupted me in the middle of the night. And the troll killed my pawn, almost killed me, but then also tipped over my carriage. So I was now stranded in the middle of the night in an area of the map that I've never been to, very far away from any like destination. So I had to travel through the night and I'm like going, and it's just like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. I ended up bumping into like a fucking lich or something like that, some sort of like possessed demon that just spawned and absolutely murdered me. So I had to reload that and then run around where he spawned because I was terrified. I eventually made it to civilization, fighting my way tooth and nail to get there. And I find where I need to go, and there's a bridge. There's a bridge that's going to get me. And I go there, and I look at the bridge, and there's a fucking cyclops staring at me on the other side of the bridge. And I'm like, this motherfucker. I have a clip of it. I go, this is the worst case scenario. Cyclops looks at me and then just fucking smashes the bridge. And I go, oh my God, I shouldn't have said anything. Like, it went from bad to worse. Now, not only is the cyclops blocking my way, but also my route that I wanted to take is now not even like an actual applicable route, which is terribly insane. I got back to town and there was a cyclops inside the town running amok.
When things go crazy in this game, they go crazy, and it's so good. It's so like systemic that it truly feels like you're playing like a individualized version of the game. But there are issues, of course. And one reason I really kind of fell off was I've really become a stickler for frame rate, and it runs like butt at times. I think I'm gonna hang out and wait on it until a 60 frame patch, and then
hop into that Starfield, bro.
You know, I've thought about it, but I bought it on PC because it didn't run at 60 on the Xbox when it launched. So here's my guess.
It's on Game Pass.
Here's my guess. I'm not paying for Game Pass. A year from now, it's gonna be on PlayStation. Easy. It'll be on PlayStation.
Yeah, probably.
So I'm just gonna wait and get the platinum. Because actually that's a great little
probably true.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be on PlayStation.
You want to follow it?
Yeah.
Let me close just a little bit on Dragon's Dogma too, because I feel like I was a little bit negative on it. Like
that's okay.
Yeah. I like it. I don't love it is where I kind of land, but I love so much about it that it's very high up on my Game of the Year list. I don't know if I ever go back to it, if I'm being honest, but even with that, I still got a lot of respect for the game. I wanted to just talk real quick about how cool it was that you made yourself as a pawn and I hired you.
Oh, yes. How did that go?
And I rolled around.
Was I
It was fucking sick, dude.
Yeah.
There's this amazing clip where I'm like, right after I hire you, we get into a fight. And it's me, my girl Winter, who wears no pants, and then my main pawn and you. We're fighting this big beast man of some sort. I don't know. Large wolf thing. And I, for the first time, did my climbing attack or whatever. So I grab up on him and I'm like, yo, I'm on his back. And then I rotate the camera. And right as I rotate the camera, your pawn also jumps up onto his back. And I'm like, yo, Colleen is here. Like, it was so hype. It was such a ridiculous moment. And then the last thing that I just want to say about it is I want to talk about the Mystic Spear Hand. Did you get this class?
Yeah, I did. That's what I was
the
playing
Mystic
as.
Spear Hand is like on my short list. It's the first entry that I've made in the 2024 GameList awards for like best thing or like whatever. I put it in something best weapon or we have something like that. I put it on there as something because I adore this class. It's like a two-handed bow staff that's infused with magic, and if you bring someone like Colleen who can imbue it with like lightning attacks and shit or fire attacks, then your whole both ends of the bow staff are there and you're doing dope twirl attacks. It is so fun. It is such a cool class. Just if you haven't played Dragon's Dogma and you're curious, just Google Mystic Spearhand Dragon's Dogma 2 and like watch anybody playing for any chunk of time and you'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
It's really cool. And it also has a spell that you can cast that protects you from damage for like 4 seconds. So I just spam
Bubble,
that
baby.
Every 4 seconds. I'm popping it and taking no damage whatsoever.
Sick.
Yeah, I made myself a giant in that game. Like, I'm tall in real life, but I accidentally made myself way too tall because I made Allie as my player character and me as my pawn. But it was really great. I'm glad I can help you out in your journey.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, awesome game.
Not bad. Yeah. Fallout.
Did you watch the
So did
show?
you start? No.
Oh, the show's good.
I know, dude.
The show is good. I watched
How did
the show.
Walton Goggins do?
Dude, he was the best. He was the best in the show.
That's my guy.
Like,
That's my guy.
I'll be honest. I only knew Walton Goggins from the Ant-Man and the Wasp, which was...
No, you know him from... I bet you know him from more. I bet you know him from Hateful Eight.
I'll be honest. I don't know if I've ever seen that movie.
Oh, you haven't.
It's on my list. That's a Quentin Tarantino.
You haven't seen it?
Right?
Correct. You haven't seen it because you don't know.
Okay.
And you don't watch that movie and then forget if you saw it or not. Because... you don't know enough about it. You should watch that immediately, dude. It's so good.
It's on my list. It is on my Letterboxd watch list. I'm going to be watching lots of movies coming up, but
hell yeah. Follow us both on Letterboxd. You can find me at Jake Twitchin, and you can find Colin at...
I think it's just my full legal name, actually.
Okay,
let me double check.
Don't follow Colin on Letterboxd.
I'm gonna double check. But Walton Goggins is... oh no, it's just Colleen, no underscore. Okay.
You should change all of your names to like Doc Collins or something like that.
Okay, well, you know, I'd actually talked about that with my Twitch chat. I was like, should we rebrand to Dr. Colleen or something? Or like
Doc call on call with Colleen, or Doc call on call. I don't know. There's something there.
You know, there's something there, but I don't think I'm creative enough to figure it out. Maybe one
Doc
day.
Doc Collin could be really good, dude. Spelled the way that you spell Colin. DOCKAULIN.
Doc Collin.
With like the Doc Collin might be really good.
What about .com? No.
DocCollin.com.
DocCollin.com.
DocCollin.com might be really good, dude. AmazingStreamer.com is working out pretty well.
Maybe I need to get that URL. ASAP.
AmazingDoctor.com.
Amazing Doctor.
Should we check if it's taken?
Yes, do it. See if it's taken.
All right. Oh look, I'm just gonna go there. Let's see.
I'm gonna talk about Fallout while you look up that. But the show's great. Walton Goggins is phenomenal. Ella Purnell, Big Eye Girl, wonderful. And honestly, I can't remember the name of the last guy, but he's also wonderful. They're all great. They're all wonderful in the show. The show inspired me. I wanted to play some Fallout. So I played like the intro to Fallout New Vegas. I abandoned that quickly, not because I don't love it. I actually love that game. I think that might be my favorite Fallout game. But because I was streaming the PS3 version, which is butt, and I really just want a native PS5 version. So I abandoned that, and then I downloaded the OG Fallout game on my Steam Deck. Okay, the OG.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
The whole world is playing Fallout 3 New Vegas and 4 and 76 right now. Good for you for going all the way back.
All the way back. I went all the way back, played it for like 10 minutes, and realized, damn, this thing does not work on the Steam Deck at all. I need like mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
I still have plans to play that. I want to play that, but
Got it. All right.
But then I joined the rest of the world, and I put 15 hours into Fallout 76, which I plan to continue to play. And then the Fallout 4 next gen version released last Thursday. Last Thursday was when I took my last exam for pharmacy school. I put 47 hours into Fallout 4 between Thursday and Monday, and got the platinum on that game. So I beat Fallout.
How is it? It's good. It holds up. It's fun.
Absolutely, dude. The next gen update's wonderful. It's a smooth 60 the entire time. I love Fallout 4. I think people hated on it way too much. But it's phenomenal. I played through. I didn't do the DLC yet. I've still never done the DLC. I think I'll go back probably in a year or two, just because I'm kind of burnt out on Fallout 4 right now. But it's awesome, and it's been super fun playing Fallout 76 with friends. Like I've loved Fallout 76. It's in a great state right now.
AmazingDoctor.com is for sale for $4,000. So think about it. I would say
I'll pass.
Might
is Amazing Pharmacist available?
Ooh, it might be. I don't know. I'd have to learn how to spell pharmacist. I think it starts with an F. But then also, for Fallout, I have played the opening hours of 4 in the past like 2 years. Like in the past like 3 months actually. I was pretty recently, and I played it enough. I had like a good session with it. I was like, oh, it's not so bad. I could see it being something I'm into. Now that I've played Elder Scrolls Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 5, and Starfield to completion and liked them. I was like, well, the only thing I'm missing in between those games is literally Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Like, I should hop in there and see if it's good. And I think I hopped off just because the next gen update was imminent.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, I'll go back to it then. And now the whole world is on it. It doesn't feel special anymore, so I don't want to do it. But I don't know. I don't have love for the franchise. It also seems like the show seems to be pretty graphic, which I don't always love. Like, blood and
can
guts
be
type
at times. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just how Fallout is. It's like sometimes body horror, but body horror comedy type things.
Yeah, I know it's got the weird, like, tongue-in-cheek, ridiculous, nature to it. I don't know. It doesn't seem like not up my alley, but I don't know. You know me. I'm a stickler for theme, man.
You need to watch the show. It'll sell you, I think.
I think I should. I've heard really good things, and I like a show like that structure-wise. From what I understand, it would probably be up my alley. It's on my list. It's on my list. It's tough for me to commit to a show. I've been watching a lot of movies lately. I watched The Fabelmans. You know that movie? It's Steven Spielberg, semi-autobiographical about like him growing up in school. Pretty good.
I need to watch. I actually haven't watched. Oh, dude, yes, I watched Past Lives. It was an Oscar nominee.
Did you cry?
Oh my god, dude, that thing was heartbreaking, but it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was. If you haven't watched Past Lives, watch it. It's phenomenal. Wonderful, like cinematography. Very aesthetic the entire way. Great music, great story. Sad. That and Dune 2 are my two most recent movies, and they're both phenomenal. But,
makes sense.
Yeah, you need to watch the show. Watch the show.
I know. I will at some point for sure. I watched. You saw Dune 2, right? Have we talked about that on stream?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Dude, Dune 2 is like a religious experience. It is up there in my favorite movies. Absolutely.
Yeah, I did it right.
I went and watched it multiple times.
I watched it in IMAX.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I just watched it once. I think it's like available now, or if it's not available now, like it's obtainable now.
Yeah, I need to. I'm gonna get the physical of it. I love having the physical of these movies just because it's not compressed like it is on streaming services. So
yeah,
stick it in your PS5 and it looks so perfect in the 4K format. That's how I have Oppenheimer.
For sure.
I only ever watch Oppenheimer on the disc because I've got the 4K.
You can download them, but they're like fucking like 50 gigs a piece.
Yeah, and there's
4K.
still compression there, and it's just not the same. Not the same.
Tough times. But yeah, it was good. Movies are fun. Who would have thought? I think there's something to them.
Lisan
I think they might
Al-Gaib.
catch on.
I actually put Lisan Al-Gaib as a tag in my streams on Twitch.
What would you do if you had the voice?
Oh, dude, I would tell my dog to shut up, stop barking. No, he doesn't bark.
Everyone listening to this, pretend I have the voice. You have to do what I say.
I would go
Shit
to
your pants.
I would go to McDonald's
Shit
and be
your
like,
pants right now.
give me an extra sauce. I need an extra sauce for my nuggets. I'm not paying.
I said more barbecue.
I'm not gonna pay.
A whole bag.
Give me a apple cream pie. A strawberry.
Using the voice to ask McDonald's for extra sauce is fucking gold, bro. No, I need more sauce. That's a very good usage. Or like like if you get like a bad scoop at Chipotle.
Oh
like,
god,
more chicken.
It's so stupid. Oh yeah, I think
that's the right way to use the voice.
That's exactly how
voice for little
how
stuff
we
like
use
that
it.
to just like enhance your quality of life for things with variability.
Absolutely,
I think is the answer.
100%. 1000%.
Yeah, that's the move.
Oh my gosh,
where do we go from here?
I don't know.
Princess Peach, a game that I actually beat.
Oh, did you finish this? You said it was kind of good
dude.
last time.
Yeah, this game is like my favorite, like 8 out of 10 video game of the year. It's a game that is greater than the sum of its parts. Like it has no.
It looks like a mobile game.
Standout. No. It's fully featured. It's very simple. It's like more so than like any other.
Those are like contradictory statements. It's fully featured.
No,
it's
mobile
very
games
simple.
are so complicated, dude. I go into new mobile games all the time and I see 17 different fucking currencies and
fair.
all
That's
this
fair.
like intricate shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't fucking do this. This game, you play this whole game with 2 buttons and a control stick. It's awesome.
See, that's why it looks like a mobile game.
Yeah,
They should put
I get
it
it.
on mobile. I don't know.
It's fucking dude. It's so good. It's such an easy breezy and pleasant time. And What's interesting about it is that so Peach has like 8 or 9 different transformations. I think it's 8. I know it's 10. It's 10 different transformations. And the structure of the game is basically there are 3 levels for each of them. So you have the game is 30 levels long, and then it has 5 boss fights, and that's the extent of basically like the content. There's more you can do in the post game if you like 100% it and get all the collectibles and all that. But basically, like you're fighting your way up a haunted theater that has 5 floors, and each of the floors has 4 rooms, and it's one of the 10 costumes. And then in the basement there is like a final challenge room type of thing for all 10 of the costumes. So as you get to the top and you do both of like the costume quests for, we'll say, sword fighter Peach, then you go to the basement and you can do the third and final sword fighter Peach thing to rescue like the person that's stuck inside it. It's neither here nor there. What's cool is that all 10 of these transformations has its own like distinct visual aesthetic and gameplay gimmick, where like patisserie Peach, who's like kind of like a chef who makes baked goods. If you didn't know what the term patisserie was, I did not.
Rotisserie chicken.
Correct, you nailed it.
Love
Has like
chicken.
it's more like a collection of mini games where you're icing and decorating cakes or doing like almost like rhythm based timing gameplay to bake things. You have some things like Sword Fighter where it's like a hack and slash, or like Karate, which is a beat 'em up. You have Ice Skating Peach, which is probably my favorite one, where you're kind of like rolling around, you know, ice on a platformer, like it's all kind of
Sure.
slippery and whatnot,
Just
but
you
you're doing like
slide the way you
tricks
don't
to
want to
kind of
go.
complete the levels. And then Mermaid Peach, which is really cool, where it is actually a rhythm game and you fly around and then your power of your voice can like extend in different directions. What is cool is that like none of those levels, tell me if this makes sense, because all of those levels they're only like 5s, 6s, and 7s, but none of them are a 4 or lower and none of them is a 9 or above, so together they all equal like an 8. It's just cool to do a bunch of different things in that video game, and none of them are like crazy or unenjoyable. I would say like the detective one is kind of interesting and different compared to the rest of them. You're trying to figure out like to solve a mystery, which can take a little bit longer, but for the most part they're all pretty strong. I like this little game, dude.
Sure.
It's high. It's in my top 5. It'll probably finish in my top 10. I don't see this game dropping out of it, and it's been harshly received, unfortunately.
Well, I was gonna say, like, if it wasn't a Nintendo game, the scores would be lower. Just because, like,
Yeah, for sure. If it didn't have Princess Peach in the title,
yeah,
if it was Princess Meep or whatever.
If you put anything Nintendo, it's automatically gonna get like an extra point just because. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not interested.
It's because of like the visual aesthetic, which is like I honestly think, like I was about to say. It's
well, then why didn't Balan Wonderworld get the higher scores?
Yeah, true. But it's a really weird game too. The people that developed it are the team that are behind like
Toad's
Yoshi's
Treasure?
Crafted World. No, Yoshi's Crafted World. Or maybe they do Toad's Treasure. I don't think so though. But they do like Kirby's Epic Yarn and like all those games. Kind of like Nintendo's like B team, to be quite honest.
I was about to say, yeah, the B team.
It was really
of
interesting. The guy who directed it, the last fucking game that he actually directed, he's been working on all of those games since. But head honcho, he was working on Mystical Ninja Goemon for Nintendo 64, which is like a really weird video game from an established franchise on the N64 that I used to play.
Go into hibernation after that?
No, he was still working on those games as like producer, executive producer, like contributing, but this is the first one that he's led in a really long time. And Nintendo did their same like cagey shit where like they just put everything out under the moniker Nintendo. Yeah. You know, it's like if Sony Santa Monica put out God of War, but they only attributed it to PlayStation Studios. Yeah, PlayStation Studios has put out, Sony has put out. Yeah. And then at the end, you see the credits where they did that whole cagey thing, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, that was." That's very odd. Sorry, it wasn't Miyamoto.
It's very odd.
What can you do? Princess Peach Showtime, worth a try, especially if you have kids. Seems like a pretty good move.
I see your list today, and I'm curious. Something else that's very odd. XDefiant, like, what's going on there?
Yeah. Sponsored.
Okay, that makes sense. You got the Ubisoft
so
stuff.
Up at the top, sponsored. So shout out Ubisoft for coming through for me. Surprising video game, man. Yeah. I've got some nice things to say about it, despite what you may think, because I was sponsored for it.
Sure.
What's interesting about XDefiant is that I feel like this game is like this like urban legend where, like, why the fuck isn't this game out? Right now?
I mean, I feel like this time 2 years ago they were having playtests or something crazy.
I think the only answer is that this game has to get shadow dropped at Summer Game Fest. Like, it has to be, or out at like Ubisoft Forward or whatever that's coming out in like June. I think it's June 10th or something like that. Like this game is ready to go. It felt like I just played like the final tech test or something like that. But it's weird in that it's not out yet, and you would worry that something stinks with it.
Yeah.
And what I came off of it thinking was like, oh, they're actually using this time wisely to polish this thing up. I think they seem like if you're going to enter this sphere of like competitive multiplayer shooter, which like the closest thing that you can compare this to is like somewhere between like a Call of Duty and an Overwatch. It's a team-based or objective-based shooter that plays like Call of Duty but has objectives like Overwatch, where you're trying to move payloads, or there's standard team deathmatch and shit like that as well.
Yeah.
But the game is very technically sound. I was really impressed with how it ran. I played it on PC from the same PC that I was streaming from. So slick, so smooth, high frame rate, no technical difficulties or hiccups. Just does some really nice quality of life stuff too. One of the things that I liked about it was whenever I got killed, I had the option to send an emote back where I could do like a crying face or a crying laughing face or like a sad face, which seems like such a small touch, but when you did it, you would just strike a button. It was like 1 2 3 4 and 5, and it would kind of like send the emoji up in like the ticker feed, right? So it's just like Jake Twishman was killed by X Slayer X420, and then I would hit my emote, and then up in that ticker it would go sad face, and then like the sad face would come into the ticker and go like kind of illuminate and ripple out blue because the sad face is blue, and like has this like really nice visual flair. It's just like little attention to detail and quality stuff that I'm looking at this game and I'm like, ooh, I think they are astutely aware of what's going to happen if they release a half-baked shooter right now. Like these people that play these games are so ready to tear the fuck out of the finals, to tear the fuck out of the new Call of Duty, to absolutely dig into Overwatch 2. It is not a nice crowd, the people that take these games seriously are nitpicky. They want their game to run smoothly. They don't want these like aggressive issues that keep on coming out with games that launch in early access and stuff. I think they're taking their time so that when they drop this, it is a fully fledged and finished product. It's really cool. Do you know anything about this game and like the framing behind it?
Not really. I mean, I saw where they kept kind of delaying it, or kind of went into hibernation. Not really. They didn't really even announce delays, but I saw where there was some reports saying like, hey, they're just trying to make it more like Call of Duty, and that's why it's being delayed. But it doesn't sound like it necessarily.
It plays a lot like Call of Duty.
Okay. Well, I'm just hoping like this will attract all the weirdo Twitch shooters, the people that can't like play Call of Duty without jumping, bunny hopping everywhere. And that
this
way
is
I can play
for them, I think.
Good, because I want to play COD normally and just be dumb and chill and shoot stuff, but I'm always getting sweated on by people. I don't know if I'm interested in this, but I'll definitely check it out.
It's for them. It's for like it's for the fans of like somewhere in between like Valorant, Counter-Strike, Overwatch. It wants to be, it's going for that crowd, the finals crowd, the exact crowd that they're going for. Same thing. Even the Battle Royale crowd, I think, is probably who they're shooting for.
What do you think about the name?
Apex fans. It's okay.
I think they just dropped the X. Just call it Defiant.
I think XD, people will call it XD if it really caught on or something like that. Maybe. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I don't think it's too bad. I think that it's got like a nice aesthetic to it. The thing that we haven't talked about, and the thing that I think is maybe the coolest thing and maybe the most appealing thing to you, is that the game is like a Super Smash Brothers of Ubisoft properties. Secretly,
it's got like
it's a class-based shooter, but everything is done with so I'm reading just like straight from the wiki right now. The setting of the game revolves around factions called Defiant. It's Phantoms from Ghost Recon, Echelon from Splinter Cell, the Cleaners from The Division, the Libertad from Far Cry, and then DedSec from Watch Dogs. And I'm assuming they can probably add additional stuff in there as well as they go. I would guess that like their season 1 plan when it launches is going to be like, here's our 6th faction, and it's going to be fucking the Ezio's from Assassin's Creed.
I was about to say, they're going to add someone from Assassin's Creed.
Season 7, the Rabbids.
They're just gonna, oh my god, they're just going to run around with knives, and Rabbids got freaking wooden planks.
But it's cool. Like having the classes be drilled into that, I think is a kind of a nice hook, because those are nice franchises for the most part.
Did you see where Watch Dogs is dead? Like supposedly like the series, like they're done with that franchise because Legions didn't perform well enough.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be back in 20 years.
I hope so. I like Watch Dogs, although I never played Legions. I own it. I bought it when it came out,
Yeah.
but I never played it because I.
Ubisoft could have a pretty big show this year. I feel like.
Yeah, they've got the new Assassin's
because
Creed.
they might have the Assassin's Creed. I would guess they're ready to at least show like a cinematic trailer for that Splinter Cell game that's been worked on for like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Like it would be smart for them to like just do a CG trailer at this point.
You know what's weird is they showed off the Rogue Prince of Persia game.
Oh, dude, I'm kind of hyped.
Yeah.
It's bold though, right? Like
it's very bold. I'm not gonna play it.
Two 2D Prince of Persia games in 6 months.
Yeah, I think they kind of hit different crowds because there's this one's the Rogue Prince of Persia. It's made by the people who made Dead Cells. I can't remember their names right now, but and then I guess it's like a endless runner. Like you just go until you die, evidently. And then you reset with like meta progression. But then there was the Lost Crown.
No,
which
not
was,
like an endless runner. It's just basically it's Dead Cells. It's a roguelike.
See, I heard that it was an endless runner, but what do I know?
Endless runner is like a like Subway Surfers is an endless runner.
But like that, but roguelike. Whereas the further you go, the harder it gets, and you just
but no, I think you independently
boss,
control your character. You can go left. Yeah, you can
well,
go left,
okay.
right,
I'm
jump.
sorry. Endless as in you have autonomy of your character, but you just keep going. Like you don't hit the end of the level, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
I think that might be right. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think there's like I think it's gonna be structured like this is as closest to Dead Cells 2, I think, as we're going.
Dead Cells,
to
but with Prince of Persia, and some
Pretty
interesting
much.
art. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd like the style. It seems like it's very I'm sponsored again. Ubisoft sent over some B-roll and stuff. Like I got 16 minutes of unedited gameplay that we looked at on stream at one point, and it's got like a really cool. The visual aesthetic is very cartoony, almost comic booky, to the point of like it looks very
hand drawn
distinct from the other Prince of Persia. Yeah. But also it's got like a rap like hip hop aesthetic to it. Like the soundtrack is super thumping and like rad, and I don't know. It's just got. I think this game is going to be perhaps a pretty big deal. I don't know. It's a tough call.
Yeah,
I'm excited to play it.
So.
I think it launches like June. No, it launches in February. I think.
I have no clue when it launches. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it launches in February. I'm sure I'll play it. So I'll let you guys know. It's launching in early access on Steam.
It's called
so you have to buy it, but you
Prince
have
of Persia.
The ability to play it, and it's on May 14th.
May 14th. Yeah. Evil Empire, that's the developer. That's right.
Evil Empire. So yeah, basically what that means is I'll have played it in between the next time we record. So more on Rogue Prince of Persia soon. Pretty good.
Very, very interesting.
I wanted to go from Princess Peach. I know we ended up on XDefiant to bring up Stitch, dude.
Yeah. Stitch.
I am so obsessed with this game. You gotta find some B-roll. Because it's so cool.
This is oh god, what's it called? Picross. Picross, but with embroidery, right?
Yeah, and for idiots. It's so fucking good.
That might be my kind of game.
Easy. Yeah. All right. So this game was shown. It was actually an Apple Arcade game, and I think it still is an Apple Arcade game. So you can go play it for free on mobile, and I bet it translates well there. But it came across my radar because of the Nintendo Indie Direct from a couple days ago, and basically it is a game that is very similar to Picross. It is a grid with numbers, but you are using your cursor to drag colors of yarn to fill these numbers. Kind of hard to explain. If you watch 10 seconds of any trailer or gameplay for it, you will understand exactly what this video game is. It is the chillest vibe that I've played in so long. I've been playing it on Twitch. I've done a couple streams of it, and they're very just like unhinged, basically just chatting streams, because I can focus on chat completely, and it's just playing like chill lo-fi music while I kind of mindlessly put colors together and track numbers. It is such a fun little video game. I don't have that much to say about it other than it is going to end up on my game of the year list.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure. I don't think I've added it as of like right this moment, but it would be in my top 10 for sure. Pretty high up. Stitch is really cool.
If you're curious,
if you like puzzle games at all,
there's a YouTube video. Says Stitch full game walkthrough gameplay, all 77 puzzles, and it's 10 hours and 34 minutes of just people solving these puzzles.
That's crazy. I've got a good VOD of it, like Stitch I bet if you Google Stitch Nintendo Switch or YouTube Stitch Nintendo Switch and scroll a little bit, you'll find my video. Like I bet it would be one of the top results, is my guess. Let's find out together. Tell me if it's in like the top 20.
You were
You see my stupid
one.
mug?
Yeah, I'm looking. We got a sponsored 1, 2. You were 3, not counting sponsored videos. Yeah,
Your boy.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The first
My
hour
bod
of
hit.
Stitch. Okay, that's okay. You said the first hour of Stitch period is, but the I is not capitalized. Come on, man. Gotta fix that.
But because the title of the game is Stitch period.
Oh, seriously? Oh,
I know it's weird.
I don't
I
like
thought
that.
about that.
It's
Yeah.
like Thunderbolts. The
I should
new
have
Marvel
maybe found a
movie
way
has,
to
like,
end the sentence with Stitch period, but and then capitalized, but it's one sentence where I'm referring to the game Stitch, which when you Google the game or trying to find it, it's Stitch period,
Stitch period,
not STITCH.
Wow. I even misspelled
Yeah.
Stitch in the search bar and it pulled up. Huh.
Hell yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Stitch.
I'll play it probably at some point if I get it for free.
Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah.
Where do you want to move on to? You want to do the Invincible?
Yeah, let's talk about the Invincible.
Can you explain it to me? Because I have no fucking idea what this game is.
So the Invincible is a walking simulator type game, very similar to like What Remains of Edith Finch in terms of gameplay.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's not any like crazy gameplay at all. And
when did it come out?
Oh, I think let's look it up. The
You talk, I'll look it up.
Yeah, because I cannot type and talk at the same time. But it's based on a book by S. Lim. S is short for something. It was a Polish author in the 1960s. And it's pretty much you land on this planet, which I guess I'll say. I'll talk about the game more so than the book, but the game is you start out, you're on this like research crew of 6 people, and you've just finished your journey, your mission. So you hop into your ship and you come back home, and then you wake up and you're on this other planet that you're not sure why you're there. You're supposed to go back home, but you weren't. So what happens is you get I'll just give you like the first hour of the game because whatever. You get a kind of new directive from your bosses or whatever to that you need to stop on this planet and check it out because the enemy faction is landing their ship there in 13 days. Their ship is called the Invincible, which is like this massive ship. So you go on and figure out, and there's some kind of freaky alien stuff. It's not scary in any means. Like it's not space horror. It's very like based in biology, and it's like highbrow shit, honestly. Because the author initially wrote the book. This game is a prequel to the book. So the book is you're a person who is on the Invincible, and you're coming to this planet for some reason. Because, well, for some reason, you're coming to the planet on a rescue mission to rescue your other ship called the Condor. And you find that out in the game, whatnot. So it's kind of hard to talk around spoilers, but like if you ever read the book or you're interested in the book, you kind of already know kind of what's going to happen in this game. But it's one of those really pretty games. You can tell just from the key art that it's a very like aesthetic game at times. It's not like a perfectly realistic version of what this alien planet would be. But it's very similar if you like Fort Solace, which I know you hate.
There's dozens of you. Dozens.
There's dozens. Yeah. If you like Fort Solace, or if you like What Remains of Edith Finch, or Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, or Deliver Us the Moon, it's very similar in terms of gameplay to those games. I'm actually going to pull up some gameplay really quick just so people who are watching can see it. It's published by 11 Bits. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I like Edith Finch so much, and I'm so against all of those other games. I should really try some more of them.
You should. This one's really cool because it's very much what someone in the 1960s thought the future would be. So there's flying saucers, and the ships look like these crazy, like humongous spaceships from the 1960s. So it's very stylized. And like if you look at it, it kind of gives you like Deathloop vibes just in the type of architecture and stuff like that. So it's very, very stylized. It's not like it's not like Halo spaceships. It's like almost like Fallout vibes in terms of pre-war Fallout.
Or Starfield. A little bit Starfield.
Not
NASA core.
no, not even Starfield, because Starfield's like what we think the future is going to be now. This is what somebody in the 60s would have been like, oh yes, this is Russian like cosmonaut designed suits and stuff like that.
Star Wars shit.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it is very, very cool, and I'm doing a really poor job of talking about it. I feel like, because it's one of those games that's
okay.
It's an experience more than anything. I can't really brag on the gameplay because all you're really doing is walking and interacting with things in the environment, but it's the story that really draws me in. And also, I was really just wanting a very short game that I could play and complete and mark off my backlog. So that's what this was.
I got 2 dates for you. Came out in November of 2023, The Invincible.
Okay.
And then also, I got a message from my buddy. Shout out Loa McLoa from chat. XDefiant launches on May 21st. They announced the release date while we were recording.
Oh, seriously? That's hilarious.
Yeah. So in between now and then, that seems like a game that you should absolutely. It's free to play, you know.
XDefiant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Hop in and we can both have a hands-on, maybe a fun like game to play on stream or something for us both.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
That's cool. It was like April 20th was the thing, and then a month later the last tech test, and then a month later it comes out. Right there it says the fast arena shooter you've been waiting for. Arena shooter is how they're quantifying it.
Arena shooter.
Like a Halo or something like that.
Interesting.
Call of Duty at its purest back in the day also was an arena shooter, one of those smaller maps.
I do like smaller maps.
Don't we all? You want to talk about small maps? Well, I've got a big map for you that you could find in Tales of Kenzera ZAU.
How you feel?
Kind of goes on. Oh, I feel okay. I feel okay about this game. I think this game's got a lot of heart. I think it's very cool. This is the game that kind of looks like Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Colin, pull up the information on the name of the studio and the name of the guy who made this video game. We've talked about it on stream already, or on this very podcast already, because I played the demo and I was really hot on it. But I played the full version of the game. I got about 7 hours in and fell off, similar to Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, to be quite honest.
Oh, you fell off?
Higher up on my game of the year list, and you thought it's Metroidvania, man. You know, they click or they don't click.
Yeah.
You got to be in the right mood for a Metroidvania once it starts to really like rear its head at you. You know, you got to make sure that you're paying attention, checking your nooks and crannies in your corners, and backtracking and doing all the shit that you're supposed to do. And I'm not always very good at that, so I fell off. But I think this game does some really interesting stuff. It's a game about grief. It's kind of centered around the death of our main character's father and how it affects him and his family and his heritage, religion, culture, the whole 9 yards. It's got some clear like African influence, like Black Panther. Almost takes place in like a not quite like Wakandan type thing, but it has that same sort of like spiritual connection to the world that you would find in that visual aesthetic that they clearly share as well, going back there. But really, really fun and interesting game. The main mechanic of its gameplay that I liked a lot is that there are 2 basic combat modes that you have that are represented by masks that represent the sun and the moon. So your moon mask is more of your like projectile attacks shooter, think more of the Metroid side of Metroidvania, and then your sun mask is like a hack and slash, think more of your Castlevania side of Metroidvania. So you toggle between those using left bumper, and that's how you attack enemies that might be weak to moon or sun or vice versa, and makes for some really interesting gameplay, which is pretty fun.
The studio developer, or the studio founder, I guess I should say, Abu Bakr Salim. He's most known for, I would say, Basim in Assassin's Creed Origins, but he was also in Raised by Wolves. And
I thought he was Bayek.
Did I say Basim? Bayek. Yeah, sorry. I'm getting my.
It is Bayek. Okay, yeah.
Yes, Bayek. You're right. Bayek from Assassin's Creed Origins, and then Informer, Raised by Wolves, Jamestown. But it turns out, so the studio is called Surgent Studios.
He's gonna be in House of the Dragon season 2.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, isn't that sick?
That's this summer. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
That's awesome. He seemed really cool. I met him very briefly at Game Awards. Seems like a super dope guy.
He makes the rounds now. I saw him on Kind of Funny hosting. Kind of Funny Games Daily not long ago. Yeah, he was really good there.
Yeah. So Surgeon Studios, it looks like a studio, like a mixed multimedia studio. Like if you go to their website, they pull up like film. It says storytelling across film, TV, games, and platforms. So they do like a little bit of everything, but this is their first game. So
Sick.
I'm definitely interested to check this
Very
game out. I downloaded it, PlayStation Plus.
Yeah,
that's
PlayStation
dope.
Plus, cool.
Yeah. But it's probably going to be a little bit until I check it out because I can only do like one Metroidvania a year. Like I can't do that many.
Yeah.
Of them.
I think what's nice is that this one is a little bit more reasonably sized than Prince of Persia. So this is a $20 video game at retail, free on PlayStation Plus if you have premium or extra, and then also the like entry week on sale price was already 10% off, so you can get it for $18 on the platform of your choice, which I think is nice and speaks not to the quality of the game but to the length of it and like the scope of it more than anything else. I'm pretty sure you can roll credits in this game in less than 12 hours universally.
Oh wow,
which is a much better bite-sized chunk than some of these bigger, more expansive ones
for sure
that come out recently, which is nice. But yeah, really cool game, really cool guy. Glad to have jumped in and supported it, and I think worth a click.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Played Sandland.
Yeah, I heard it's
Just played the demo. Yeah, pretty average, but I feel like sometimes average is nice. It's Akira Toriyama, so it kind of works well with like the man. You know what? We've been good with our transitions and just moving from like thing to thing, but there are so many things where I'm like, ah, shit, we should have talked about Sandland right after we talked about Dragon Quest.
Well, I thought about talking about
oh shit, we should have talked about Tales of Kenzera right after Prince of Persia. Yeah, for sure. Deliver Us Mars should have come right after the Invincible, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we're vibing today. We're chilling.
We are vibing, which is nice. But Sandland, really cool visuals. The art style is obviously fucking insane. Big emphasis on like, I don't know, you kind of like throw your vehicle out like a Pokeball, and there's 3 of them that I got to experiment with. It was like a motorcycle, a tank, and then like a fucking mech. And it was a really odd demo. The demo just kind of throws you in. There's no story or anything like that. They just go, here's like an open world, and you can explore and go into a dungeon and fight some stuff. And I go, okay. So I was just like left off in like a sandbox, for lack of a better term, and got to kind of mess around in there. It didn't click with me. I don't think it's going to be something that I go back and revisit unless, I don't know, it would have to catch me at the right time or hop on Game Pass or something like that for me to give it another shake.
It's fair.
I would be interested to play the opening hours and hear what the story is and kind of get there. But demo-wise, I don't think it was a demo that's really selling copies or anything like that.
I get that. It's not something I'm interested in. So
I get it.
Yeah.
You want to smash on Deliver Us Mars?
Yeah, really quickly. I actually started this game last night. So it's developed by Koeken Koeken Studios.
Are these the guys who just went out of business?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Well, they didn't go out of business. It's really sad because so the first game is Deliver Us the Moon, and I loved that game. I actually referenced it earlier when talking about the Invincible. I loved that game, and then this one came out about this time last year, and I never got to it because I was busy with other stuff, and it just came to PlayStation Plus or whatever. So I downloaded it and checking it out, and it's really great. It's definitely like through and through AA. All right, the character controls a little wonky. The faces look awful. I've seen better faces on like PS2.
I don't even know if I would call it AA. Maybe just single A.
Maybe single A, honestly. Yeah, but it has like a very heartfelt story in between all of this, which honestly I'm good with some jank gameplay as long as something's got a good story. But I started out and it's really good. It's a follow-up to Deliver Us the Moon, and I go on Twitter and the freaking studio's like, hey guys, all of our like publishing deals have fallen through and we can't afford to like have all these people. Yeah, so we're having to lay everyone off. And
is this the statement that was like after failing to like find something at GDC?
Yeah.
Was that the one that that's so crazy to pinpoint it on like, I don't know. That's like it felt like from a business standpoint a weird thing that I was reading. I was like, so these guys weren't able to rub elbows well enough to secure funding for their game?
Well, it's like kind of what it seems. It seems like they've been trying to. It says they've pitched 5 different games. Where is it? It says they pitched like 5 different games over the past couple months or to year, and no publishers buying. And which we've seen that in the you know, if you watch through Psych Odyssey whatnot, you'll see like pitching to publishers is really tough, and you have to search high and low for the right publisher that will actually do it. But it said they've unfortunately exhausted all of our possible options for publishing, work for hire, and co-development. So what they're doing is they're pretty much laying off most of the studio just because they can't afford to pay for them. And they are kind of going to a skeleton crew and launching a Kickstarter for their next and seem to be final game in the Deliver Us series, to Deliver Us Home, which will be the third game in the series, which I personally will probably back that because I love these games. And it's kind of sad just to see like it's just greed on publishing side that isn't getting these games funded. Like really, like if we look at it, Strauss.
I'm sure Deliver Us Mars and Deliver Us Moon aren't putting up gangbuster numbers.
I'm sure they're not, but like I have to assume they're at least breaking even. Like
maybe.
Did you see where Strauss, like Take-Two, has closed down Roll 7, the people who made Rollerdrome?
Yeah.
And Kerbal
Ollie
Space
Ollie World, I think, right?
Yeah, they made Ollie Ollie World, and the other studio that made Kerbal Space Program. And bro,
yeah, but they fucking botched Kerbal Space Program too. That should have been the biggest thing in the world.
The CEO has over doubled his salary in the past year, from like 17 million, maybe billion, I don't know, to 42 something. And it's like, come on, man, come on. But yeah, the studio's more or less shutting down. But it looks like they're going to try to kickstart their next one, and if they get enough, they'll push it, which I will. I'll pay for it. I'll kickstart it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a set of brothers that like co-founded the studio, called the Dietman brothers, I think. I don't know. Sad. Good game.
Dietman brothers.
Yeah. Check it out though. Check it out. Check out Deliver Us.
The fucking
because they need money.
Porn waiting to happen, dude. Dietman brothers is just two fucking dudes. No. We're not going there.
Yeah.
The Xbox game showcase has been announced for June 9th.
Oh yeah.
No. Not June 9th. I think it's
I don't know.
June 10th. Let me pull up the actual verbiage here. But did you see the rumors that basically they announced that it's going to be their regular June showcase?
Yeah.
And then
the next Call of Duty, pretty much.
Yeah, so it is June 9th. Sorry, I got confused. But it's June 9th, and then basically they said it's going to be a blank direct, but it's using basically a Call of Duty symbol to show off the next Call of Duty. Yeah. So I'm sure they'll be very similar in the way that they did the deep dive for Starfield last year, right?
Yeah, it'll be Call of Duty Black Ops 5 or 6 or something like that.
Zombies?
Zombies will be there. But I don't know.
Well, I bet it'll suck, dude.
Nah.
They just love to ruin that. But you've been playing Call of Duty in the meantime still?
Yeah, I've been vibing on Call of Duty. They had a stupid like 420 weed celebration event. Like I'm all for people that like if you want to smoke, go smoke. I don't care. But like it's just so like why are you making skins that are all about like smoking weed? Like I'm gonna put weed on my
there's
gun.
Like it's the same people that have like they wear like a fucking shirt to Walmart that's like a weed leaf with a happy face on it with red eyes. Like it's just a weird thing to make your identity, but there's like a whole subset of people that are obsessed with it. Just wear tie-dye like the rest of us.
It's it's very odd. Like I'm like go for it,
it's
but
on
like
the nose.
It's just odd that you having a whole event like
the marijuana leaf fucking sock industry must be $1 million a year, deal. Like they're selling those socks. People are rocking those.
Like it's
with flip flops to the store.
Truly mind boggling.
Buy wraps.
There's actually dog toys that are. It's like a dog toy where you can roll a joint for your dog, and like, I'm like, why? Why do you? Okay, whatever. But anyways, I hopped back into COD and that was going on, and I was just kind of vibing because it was this past month I've been very busy, so I was looking for a game that I could just like spend 20 minutes on each night. Nothing crazy, just something before I went to bed. So I'd hop in, play a couple matches, and I got banned from COD. Like
I wasn't expecting that.
Dude, I got banned. I don't know. I didn't do anything. I got banned, and it was shadow banned technically, but I logged in and I'm like, man, COD sucks now.
That's so fucking funny, dude.
Every lobby's full of cheaters, dude. I was getting like shot through the walls and everything. Just horrible cheating. And like people were DDoSing lobbies and everything. And I looked it up and it turned out I looked up my account on Activision and it said you're currently banned. You are not available. Like this is not eligible for an appeal. And I was like, what the, why? So I got banned, and evidently people in the lobbies were like, yeah, if you get like 5 reports, they're going to shadow ban you and stick you in lobbies with cheaters. And I could not figure it out. But finally, after a certain amount of time, it went away. But it was just miserable trying to play with those cheaters for a couple days. Because I couldn't do anything. I'd log into the loggy. Wow. I would log
into the lobby.
Yeah,
Got you.
Yeah, I would log into the lobby and be sitting there for 20 minutes waiting for a match. And then when I got in the match, I would go like 1 in 50 from all the cheaters. But yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Call of Duty's its biggest problem, in my opinion, the battle pass takes way too damn long. That battle pass takes forever to grind through.
You know what? Battle pass is perfectly optimized.
Fortnite,
bro. I'm a fucking Fortnite gamer.
Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take too long. It's just have you grinded out all the Avatar stuff, right?
Yeah, I got Appa. Glide there.
Did you buy like Toph and Katara and whatnot?
No, I don't really have much love for Avatar.
Oh, really?
I only watched the first episode.
What?
Yeah, it was like, yeah, It came out like when I was like already like, it came out at a bad time for me. Like I was like 13 or 14. Like I was in the business of throwing away Pokemon cards and realizing that I liked women a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Trying to be cool. I had like a really funky, like 13 through like 18. Like until I realized I was like, oh, I should just be myself and find people that like that. I just wanted to like, you know.
Avatar is like foundational.
I wasn't watching cartoons at the time.
Avatar is like,
yeah, there's a lot of people in this.
Absolutely. I have a Katara, Aang, and Zuko statue that I have up on the back normally. So I went through and I bought Zuko. I got Aang. I got Appa. I got Korra, yeah, was there. So I've got all those, and I'm so happy about it. But it's really cool. The waterbending goes hard.
The game is good. Waterbending is disgusting. It's the best weapon in the game right
Absolutely.
now. I've liked the event. I think that the like actual event replacing the pacing is always so good, where they do like they have the season, which we talked about the season when it started. We were doing like the Greek mythology, and we were throwing like lightning bolts and fighting Hades and stuff. And that element is still there, but a lot of those like big mythic weapons are replaced with the Avatar themed stuff, which is firebending, waterbending, airbending, whatever, earthbending. And they all have these like different properties basically, and each one is kind of good or bad in its own way. Just really cool way to spice up the season before things change over. And this season only goes for like another 3 weeks, and on the day that the Avatar event ends, which is tomorrow, the new Star Wars event starts.
Yeah, like
they make it so easy, and it's such an easy like social game. It's the closest thing that we have to a metaverse, man. I really like Fortnite. Like
it has gotten I was on it earlier. Exponentially better since they brought Zero Build out, in my opinion.
Yeah. For sure.
That's when I started getting back in. Was it Zero Build? So
just awesome. Really good. But yeah, I've been playing a ton of Fortnite. I play with like different sets of homies. I got like a duo that I play with all the time. We just go and pop fools on like a every other night basis, and I play with like the fellers probably like once a week or once every couple weeks at the very least. And then when I'm really bored and I'm just like doing I don't know, you're not as bad as me, but I have like this like stasis that I go into like once or twice or like 4 times a week, where I just sit at my computer and look at all my launchers and games that I own and systems and things, where I'm just like, what do I play? And then I usually land on like Marvel Snap or Fortnite, like, and that's just kind of what I do for like an hour until I want to go do something else or go to sleep or something like that. And Fortnite's just such a good option, man. It's game is so good. Yeah, so healthy.
Yeah, it's a great game. I absolutely love it.
I still do Fortnite Festival every Friday. I break out my drums and rock Fortnite Festival, which is cool. It just got its big update with Billie Eilish. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, did you pre-order that guitar?
I did, yeah. So I got it in like on a weird point in the guitar. Like I missed the first batch of pre-orders, and then I was able to get in on launch day. They put up some more guitars, and I bought it through Amazon. I got the Xbox one that works on PC as well, which is really important. And it's like I ordered it. When I ordered it, it was already like the status was like out of stock, but you can buy it now and we'll ship it when it's ready
Yeah.
or something, where it was like a little flux status, and then like 10 minutes after I bought it, it was like out of stock.
Yeah.
So I've just had it in my Amazon purchases, like they haven't taken my money, and it's just like, we'll send you an email when the item's ready to ship, and I'm like, fuck, now I've been working at this thing for 2 weeks and I feel like they're just going to cancel it, which really sucks. I was hoping it would resolve itself quicker, unfortunately. So yeah, the answer is kind of yes. I'm trying to get my hands. It's called a Riff Master. It's really nice, $130. But in the meantime, I've got the digital drum kit.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's cool. It's got like a fucking control stick on the back of like the neck of the guitar, and the whole thing folds down. It's a high quality product, no doubt.
I play like
and it's from the team that made the Rock Band 4 guitars.
Oh, the PDP? Is that them?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I play Fortnite Festival maybe once a month. And I always have a good. Me and Allie will like queue up and play like 4 songs.
Yeah.
And it's great. But then when I go to hard and it adds like triangle in. Like when it adds like
on the controller and stuff. I think that's expert.
Miserable. That whatever difficulty it is miserable because I mess up. I cannot get it in my head. Like I don't know.
It's janky with the 5 for sure. I can do it on keyboard, no problem. On the drums, it's really hard to do 5 because when you do 5, it's basically like trying to do like the regular drum setup, but because there's no bass pedal, it goes like, do you remember how Rock Band did drums, where it was just four things, and then there was a big line that went across all 4 things, and the big line across the 4 would be doof, doof, doof. That's your bass pedal. So you would use the pedal to actually press across, and then you'd have the 4 like drums basically that you would hit. And because that doesn't exist in Fortnite Festival, there's no optimization for drums. You just get that 5th thing, and your far left pad becomes your bass pedal, or what's supposed to be your bass pedal. And my fucking brain can't comprehend it, dude. Like I'm looking at it, and it just looks like guitar notes. And like when I see left, to me the far left means hit left pad, and like I just can't do it. So everything is just kind of a little bit broken. So I don't even play on extra. I play on hard for drums right now, but hopefully they add support, because they did add actual retail controller support for the Rock Band 4 guitar and the Riff Master, which are both nearly impossible to obtain right now, and apparently it's a little janky, but hopefully they fix that in the near future. But Billy's in there, and I'm riding that pass, baby.
Yeah, Billy looks cool. It's cool that they have, I don't know, I think it's cool that they have 2 different battle passes. I think
3 now. They're about to have the fucking
car one?
Lego one as
well.
well.
Lego one.
No, Lego Fortnite gets a Star Wars battle pass of like different, like you can get like a Mos Eisley Cantina and
that's crazy, dude. That's so weird.
Yeah, and they're tiered up nicely too, so that like there's going to be a really crazy rotation of like, if you're in on the Fortnite ecosystem, there's going to be a battle pass for you, probably refreshing or ending or having some kind of
like
events like every other week.
Do you do Fortnite Crew?
No, I should though, huh?
Yeah, I think you should, because what I did is like I got Fortnite Crew, which was $13, I think, and it gives you the battle pass plus 1,000 V-Bucks every month. So I just paid $13 to get the entire battle pass and the Zuko skin.
So, but like, what if it does the battle pass, but I'm paying every single month, and the battle pass is 2.5 months long? Am I not paying like $30 for a battle pass?
Well, you're paying $30 for a battle pass and 1,000 V-Bucks every month, plus the extra skins that they have in the thing. I think if you do it every month, it's not worth it. But what I did is I just did it for 1 month, got the battle pass, and got the 1,000 V-Bucks, and got the skin.
And then what happens when it runs out? Do you not have the battle pass anymore?
No, I still have it. I don't know how it works, but it works. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I love the little mini battle pass thing they do with the avatar stuff events? When they put out like, that one. We did one for Splinter. I did it, or Shredder during the Ninja Turtles event.
They have one for Avatar. Snake as well. Solid Snake. They have one for that. Metal Gear.
No, not exactly. That was just like the bonus skin from that season, same way that like Korra worked this time.
Gotcha.
Time that was Darth Maul.
Yes, I did that one. I have Darth Maul. I got that one. Yeah.
It's cool little limited nice. Battle pass. It's only $10 or 1,000 V-Bucks.
Yeah, that's like what I did. I got the mini battle pass and the big battle pass with $13. But nice. My only complaint with this event is the music that plays when you hover over the Avatar battle pass. I wish you could earn that to play in your lobby. Just they're
doing really interesting stuff with that right now. I think they're revamping lobby battle music or lobby music, because I think they're adding a bunch of stuff from like events, and you should be able to use your jam tracks now.
I don't have any jam tracks.
I've got so many jam tracks.
I don't have any jam tracks. I don't have any dances. I'm like a broke boy in Fortnite.
I got so many dances. I'll be doing the gritty.
How much money do you think you've spent in Fortnite in total?
Probably at this point, like I've had like a really crazy year of spending in Fortnite, and I do it. I always say like I only spend Fortnite is all funny money. You know what I mean? Like I only spend money that I get from chat on Fortnite stuff because typically it is like stuff that I'm buying to play on stream. I don't do Fortnite Festival off stream. You know what I mean? Like so all of those battle pass like are, I mean, purchases for like individual songs are to service like a on stream thing. It's not bad though. I think probably like $600 or $700 lifetime.
Okay, I'm probably at 100 lifetime, maybe 100. But
I only buy my V-Bucks in like the $100 increments now, like $92.
See, I should do that. But
it's smart, but it's also when you do it like that, you probably spend more because when you see your V-Bucks total is like 9,000 V-Bucks and something's in the store for like 1,500, you're just like, bleh.
Might as well.
Like, like I can see myself spending in the store differently when I have like 3,000 V-Bucks versus when I have like more than 10K. You know what I mean?
And it was definitely in this event they had the Katara and Zuko bundle for like 30.
I don't know why are they so expensive? Those ones in particular are like 2,000 a pop. They feel like,
I don't know why.
Like, I don't know why those are 2,000 and like Anakin Skywalker's 1,500.
I don't know. I have
just
no
because they're
idea.
cell shaded, I guess.
Maybe there's some like
because that girl showing her fucking toes.
I don't know. Toph was not in the bundle though, which is odd. Toph you had to buy
dogs out.
You had to buy her on her own for $20. But I bought.
What's the lore on Avatar? So is the water girl Korra's mom?
No, that's Katara. Katara and Aang end up getting married, and they have a son, like 2 sons and a daughter. And the son is Tenzin, one of them. He's voiced by J.K. Simmons in the sequel series of Korra. So the Avatar, every time an Avatar dies, it gets reincarnated into the next person, which is, it's on a loop between the 4 elements.
So does Aang go to Korra?
Yeah, so Aang dies and Korra is born and is the Avatar.
Sick.
So she can like chat with her past lives, so she can have like a conversation with Aang.
So is Aang in Korra show?
Yes, briefly. As an adult. Yeah.
Sick.
It's I love Avatar, dude. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, people love it.
It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Also, now
Fortnite rules.
It does. It really does. Fortnite's great. You should play it. I'm seeing we also have we have another Prince of Persia game on here that we could have transitioned to earlier.
Oh yeah, dude, you're right. Fuck.
And like
I've been playing Prince of Persia 08. It's so sick.
I was gonna buy this the other day because it was on sale for like $2 and I forgot to.
Yeah, it's $2 all the time on fucking Steam. You should buy it and play it and love it. You would absolutely adore this game.
You know what I'm gonna play?
What?
I actually installed it. This is kind of a tangent. I'm gonna replay through the Tomb Raider reboot trilogy. I actually only ever played.
Oh yeah.
I only ever played the first Tomb Raider reboot and played like 20 minutes of the Rise of the Tomb Raider. And I'm like, I think it's time to play through that entire trilogy. So I re-downloaded.
Didn't they pawn off the third one onto a different team?
I don't think so. I think it's all.
And isn't Lara Croft not handled the best in that first Tomb Raider reboot? Doesn't she like?
No, I think she was pretty good. I think it was good.
Oh.
You know what spurred this on is I watched the Crystal Dynamics documentary by NoClip the other night, and it was
I thought you were gonna say you watched Angelina Jolie's Tomb Raider.
No, I need to watch that. But no, I thought it was good.
Guess who voices the Prince of Persia? Persia being a Middle Eastern country.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Nope, it's worse.
Who could possibly be worse?
Guess who voices Nathan Drake?
God, I sound like an idiot now.
Nolan North.
Nolan North. Yes, I was like, it's in my head.
And it's right. Literally, Prince of Persia 08 was recorded in between Uncharted 1 or 2. 1 and
sound
2, and
just
he
like
just
him?
sounds like fucking Nathan Drake. It's so bizarre, but it's really good. The game is so good. It's a little bit like princess. It's a little ridiculous, like dialogue wise, and it's crazy that they casted him as the Prince of Persia. But the game is so much fun. I've talked about it on the show before. It's got a really interesting battle mechanic and traversal mechanic where everything kind of almost plays out like a rhythm game, and then obviously it's got the cell shaded look so that this game really holds up. But I don't know. I don't want to dwell on Prince of Persia 08 all that much. It's just
You
a
should
very,
dwell on it a
very
little bit
cool
longer
and
because
unique
I'm
video game.
bringing up a trailer for it.
Yeah, it's worth it because of how it looks. Like I think it's worth its weight in gold here. Like if you look at the aesthetic for a game that is, at this point 15 years old, it's really, really impressive. It also has like a non-linear way of traversing through the game where you uncover the map. You have to do like one of 4 sections first, finish those 4 sections, and then you quite literally choose any combination of 16 areas to go through. And it's kind of like just go to this map, traverse to the center of this area, get the, like, I guess kind of a Ubisoft tower, but not really. That's there. It's more of like a platforming segment to get there. Like it's your entire quest. That's so fucking fun, man. It is just like the game is ridiculously good.
I want to play it.
It got bonked. It got bonked back in the day for being like, you can't even die in this game, but you can't like die in any game. You just get loaded back to a checkpoint.
Yeah,
It's fucking awesome.
that's how every game is.
Correct.
You don't die in real life when you die in a video game. Like,
yeah, no. You die in the game.
I
You die in
swear,
real life.
the complaints people have about games are so stupid. I hate it here.
Yeah, it's insane. People are mad. People are mad because they got all fucking boned up while they were looking at the Stellar Blade character. They said games aren't supposed to do this.
I've never been turned on by a computer before.
I looked at your game trailer and soaked my socks. What am I supposed to do now?
I have some complaints about a game.
Yeah.
I think, did we talk about Battlefront last time? Is this you or me that put this on the list? I don't remember.
I think I played it and refunded it. I had a bad time with this game. I don't think we talked about it. I think it was launching like the next day after we fucking streamed.
Tell me about your experience with it.
Dude, broken. Just broken.
Did you buy it on PC?
Yeah, I bought it on Steam. They gave me this insulting discount. We talked about this game's imminent launch. I remember talking about this, and being like, you gave me an insulting discount for owning the last Star Wars. But downloaded it, couldn't get it into a game on Star Wars Battlefront 2. I could get into a game on Star Wars Battlefront 1. It was just a mess of an interface, and it's such an alley-oop to make this game good.
Yeah.
And instead, they fucking fumbled the bag. Like, all of the hype was over the course of like a week leading up to its release, and then within 2 days nobody was talking about this game, and during the 2 days it was most popular, everybody's discourse was like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
You guys did a bad job. This shouldn't have been so fucking difficult, and yet you fumbled the bag. Crazy.
I pretty much agree. They kind of fumbled. I played through, what did I do? I think I played a whole entire Galactic Conquest campaign. I had a great time, but like there could have been so much more. Like Duke, they had a slam dunk ready to go, and they just ruined it. And I don't know how, but I mean, it's getting updates. I'm excited to see where it ends up. If a physical ever comes out, I will buy it because I am a shill for this game. But
I bet it doesn't.
I think it does because all Aspire games have physicals come out at some point.
Maybe you're right. I feel like I do see like limited run games puts out like remasters of like Jedi Academy and shit like that you can buy for $30 and shit. So
they always do stuff like that. So I'll buy it when it comes out on physical. But I played a couple hours. I plan on getting the platinum at this one day, but they messed up. It was rough.
What's your hype level for Outlaws?
7 out of 10.
Yeah,
I feel like
the same thing.
Like I haven't had a chance to get hyped for things just because I've been so busy. But once I get back into like the news loop again, I think I'll be more excited about it.
That story trailer for it, and they announced the release date of August 30th, which I think is a really cool and unique release date. And I hope it sticks to that release date. Yeah. Because it's going to come out in no man's land. Yep. But if you would have told me that, like, if 3 years ago you would have told me that in 2024 there's going to be a new Star Wars game and a new Indiana Jones game, and one of them would be third person and one of them would be first person, I would tell you exactly which one was which. Yeah. And then I would tell you which one I'm more excited for, and it would be the first person Star Wars game. But no,
Yeah.
It's the fucking third person Star Wars game that I'm not excited for, and I'm super hyped off of the first person Indiana Jones game.
I'm excited
Wild
for both.
times.
I'm excited for both.
Yeah, me too. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna play the shit out of Outlaws, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for it, but something about that Indiana Jones game calls to me this year, dude.
That's fair. You know what's coming out soon that you're gonna hate?
Mm-hmm.
Hellblade. I gotta play through Hellblade soon.
Oh yeah, dude, I forget. You know what's funny is that like when I do my coming soon, like I have like a document for all the stuff that's coming out of like, hey, I might potentially stream this. Like I just don't have Hellblade even written since it's so off my radar. I forget that it's coming out this month.
Yeah, well, I've forgotten that it's coming out this month because they've done a horrible job at marketing it. Just absolutely miserable.
When does it
job.
actually drop?
May
Like May 19th or some shit,
something.
Right?
Yeah. They've done a horrible job marketing it. We haven't heard anything about it since the last showcase, and it's just been radio silent since then. So
I'm going Endless Ocean comes out today, and it's a fucking abortion, dude. Apparently, it's so bad. the Switch game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know. I just calling it an abortion was unexpected. I was not expecting that.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say it was like abysmal or something, but you went the whole abortion route on me.
It's a fucking abortion. And then Little Kitty Big City is like the one that I'm looking forward to quite a bit. That comes out on the 9th. That's gonna be on Game Pass. Rogue Prince of Persia on the 14th. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. Is that on your radar at all?
No, not really. And I don't know. Nothing's on my radar.
It's from the Sayonara Wild Hearts team.
I played the first level of Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Dude, you should after this go live and play Sayonara Wild Hearts while I prep my stream. Just go buy it for $7.
About it. I've been waiting to find a physical of it.
I don't think that exists.
It does. It's a limited run games. Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
23rd, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door remake, which I'm really hyped off of. And then the 28th, Multiverses comes out again. And then at some point, Hellblade comes out. So
you know what I am excited for?
Losers. Get hyped, losers.
There's a Fallout 76 update coming soon. And then
get hyped, losers.
There's also Sea of Thieves just dropped for PlayStation. I'm thinking about hopping in that with a couple of the people from my community and having a good old time on the open seas.
I played Sea of Thieves with the homies once, twice, and both times I ended feeling pretty nauseous, dude. And I'm sure they have accessibility settings where I could like change that, but there's something about like that game's like first person.
Gotta get your sea legs.
Fucking just bores me.
Put on a scopolamine patch.
What the fuck is that?
It's a patch that you put behind your ear. Like people that go on cruises. If you ever go on a cruise, look behind people's ears and you'll see a bunch of them. It's a motion sickness patch.
Dramamine?
Yeah, very
Isn't
similar.
that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dramamine is what I take if I'm like
I don't think it's technically the same brand.
Light and I'm feeling fucked up or something like that.
I don't.
I played the Nintendo 64 drops from the Switch expansion pass, and Extreme G3 is just a futuristic bike racer, which is pretty good, but Iggy's Reckin Balls is the most out of left field drop on Nintendo Switch Online that they've had so far for any system, and it is a weird obscure little like racing platformer game that if you have Switch Online plus expansion pass, you absolutely need to play. This little nightmare of a video game. It's so fucking cool. I had a blast playing through it.
You didn't put these in the slides, did you? Or did you? Am I
they're in there.
Oh, that's my bad.
Yeah.
I overlooked them.
That's okay. I want to talk about Ice Age really bad.
I want to hear about this actually, because I grew up on Ice Age.
Dude, okay, this game is so rad. When I started playing it, so here's what happened. I have to give like the framing of this. So in the beginning of April, we had a snowstorm that kicked our ass, and I don't live in a place where it should be snowing like that in April. It was insane, and what happened is I lost power early in the morning, and when I lose power here, typically I lose it for like a day, and it takes a long time to come back. But an hour after I lost power, the power came back.
Wow,
and I said,
it's magic.
Holy fuck, the power's back, and it's still snowing. It's still going crazy outside. I'm like, I have got to fucking just like maximize my time here. So I made hot food and I sat down and I was like, should I just like stream? And I just went live with no idea of what to do, and we started scrolling through all of the PlayStation Plus games, and I felt like I was on borrowed time the entire time. We found this Ice Age game that's like a 3D platformer, and if you asked me, I would have guessed that it was like a PS3 game that was ported to PlayStation Plus. No, it's a PS5 game from 2019. Like, this game has been out for Switch, Xbox One, PS4, PS5, Windows. It came out for Google Stadia. It is a pretty modern video game that got ported to PS5 in like 2021 or something like that. It is the weirdest, oldest feeling video game that I've ever played. It just like seems like a Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, Tak and the Power of Juju.
Oh,
like,
dude.
you know, not quite Jak and Daxter or Mario caliber, but it's like a step below them.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
was
just like a janky little video game.
I was talking about Tak and the Power of Juju with my roommate the other day, and like Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, I have the HD remasters of those. Those are great games.
It is such a weird little game, and it is so much fun, and it's just so clearly unfinished from a team that didn't have enough time to put this game out, where like at the end of the levels there was like a pretty like blatant structure of like you did 4 levels, fought a boss, and then ended, and you do that 3 times, but on the 3rd time there's no boss that you fight and the game just goes to credits, and it's like clearly they just had to say ship this fucking thing, let's get it out. We ran out of money or something like that, but it is, dude, the game is awesome. Like, I really loved it. And what happened was, like, I usually stream for like an hour and a half, 2.5 hours. Like, I'm a short streamer, and because it was on borrowed time and this game was so much fun, we just ended up streaming for like 5.5 hours. I never lost power again, and I was just like, so like, well, let's just keep the good thing going. I just played through Ice Age Scratch Nutty Adventure in one sitting. Like, it's so fucking good, dude. It's so good. I can't recommend it enough. It's like legitimately, like, the Metacritic on it is like a 45. It's like a 6.5 out of 10. It's like a perfect little shitty video game.
The developer's name is Just Add Water. They have made Sniper Elite VR, Doctor Who Edge of Reality.
Any edgers?
They did Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, New and Tasty.
Oh, yeah. It's like a remake of the original, I think.
Yeah, Toy Soldiers HD, Poncho, Volume, Micro Machines. And then they did some Oddworld, Munch Odyssey, Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath HD. And then their first game, I Am Bread.
Sounds right.
You play as a piece of bread.
Yeah, I know that game. I've seen that on like
yeah,
Steam and like a Nintendo Switch indie world 5 years ago or some shit like that.
Yeah, they made that. So very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. I got some weird stuff on the rest of the thing. Let's just fly through these. I put Hades on here just because I hopped into Hades out of pure jealousy. Did you see that they did a Hades 2 tech test?
Yeah, the tech test. You know, never beat Hades.
The tech test went out. I applied. You never beat it?
Never beat it.
Not even once?
Not even once.
I beat it like 7 times. I don't think I actually have.
No, yeah, you have to beat it 10 times to get the final ending.
Yeah, that sounds right. And then more if you want to. But that game fucking rules. And also the tech test, what the verbiage was on the tech test was that they're winding down the tech test. They're not sending out any more applications.
Getting ready for
the game will be ready to
access.
launch in early access soon. Yep. TM. So there's a potential where I could see Hades 2 shadow dropping in early access at the Game Awards on June 7th.
Summer
Time
Games
frame wise, it checks out. What did I say?
The Game Awards.
Yeah, same thing. Keely Fest. Keely Palooza. Friend of the show.
Audio just bugged out.
Sneeze?
No, audio bugged out for a second. It's just like absolutely freaked out. Weird. Like I lost you and it
Seems like it's good.
Yeah, it sounds good now. I don't know. It just had a moment.
Nice.
Yeah, I've never beat Hades. Did you ever watch the Developing Hell documentary from NoClip?
Dude, it's my favorite thing in the world for sure.
It's great. You know they're gonna put.
It's unreal.
They're working on a physical like release of that on Blu-ray.
Of the documentary?
Yeah, they're working on a physical like collector's release of that. Which I.
Do you think they're working on a second Hades 2 doc right now?
No, they're not. I listen to their podcast all the time. I'm very active in like the NoClip community. I really like that. They're not. They talked about it, but they said that they couldn't find a story to tell. Like they couldn't find the correct narrative for it because like the first one, it makes sense. You know, you're going from nothing to something.
It's their first time doing a sequel. They're kind of
exactly. Yeah.
Pushing in.
Yeah. So they didn't do it, but they said that they are talking about after it's over with doing like a retrospective documentary, like a lot of their other stuff. But they're doing their new series is Hyperlight Breaker with Heart Machine. So they're about to put out episode 3 of Hyperlight Breaker, and then I think they've been doing a lot of interesting like little mini docs and stuff. They did Immortality documentary. I watched that the other day. That's great.
Yeah, I saw that.
They did one about Monkey Island. I watched Choo Choo Charles Vampire Survivors documentary. They've got a lot of. I love NoClip so much. They're wonderful. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep, they're great.
I played Need for Speed: The Run for the first time. Have you ever played this game?
I have not. I watched you play it.
Oh yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I was there. I'm there for most of
This
your
game-
streams. I just don't chat because I'm too lazy.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Say hi.
I should.
I
That's a Mustang on the cover.
dude, I love this game.
Really?
It's so weird, but I love it. So I went into it, and the goal was like, I love playing like cursed little video games. You know, you guys always see this at the end of like the what we're playing corner of stuff. I always kind of have like Jake's little fucking crust bucket. We should call it a new segment, Jake's crust bucket. I'm writing that down.
Jake's Crust Bucket.
Yeah, of like all the little fucking shit heel games that I played. Like I'm playing X-Men Destiny right now. I didn't include it on this because I'm not done. I'll talk about it next time.
I played that when I was a kid. It's horrible.
You played it?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Yeah, it fucking slaps, dude. I love it.
It's horrible.
But I was expecting Need for Speed: The Run to be absolute dog shit, and instead I found a game that I absolutely adore, dude. Like it was so panned when it came out for not being like a traditional Need for Speed and for having it's like they plugged so hard these out of the car segments when in reality there's only like 3 or 4 of them and they're pretty minimal. But it's like a Need for Speed that's wrapped around a story, and the story is like escape the mob and win the across the country race. But because of that, what you get is a game that like never repeats itself. You don't end up doing tracks multiple times over like you do in many racing games, and you just have like this linear story of your racing from like San Francisco to New York City. And because of that, you get these varied environments and these cool missions. And dude, I was so surprised. I thought I was gonna hate it, and I ended up loving Need for Speed: The Run. That's really all I have to say. And honestly, it holds up in 2024. I played it on original hardware on Xbox 360.
Is this better or worse than the Fast and Furious game that came out not long ago?
Way better, way better. The Fast and Furious game is like cool and campy and shit, and like, but like Need for Speed: The Run is like an ample racing game that at its time for $70 or $60 was probably like a fucking nightmare. Like I beat the game in 8 hours, you know, and there's not much replayability or anything like that.
Sure.
But as like a standalone like story, like if you want some like okay arcade racing wrapped around like a cheesy tongue-in-cheek like kind of like Fast and Furious movie style story, it's a blast. I loved it. Need for Speed: The Run rules.
Yeah.
I also played through New Super Mario Brothers DS. Did you play this? Did you have a DS? Were you a DS kid?
I did have a DS, but I did not ever have a Mario game for the DS.
Wild.
Yeah.
This was like so many people came into chat like this game is my childhood. Like a lot of kids had this. This game was synonymous with a lot of DS Lite owners in that era. DS Lite, DSi.
DS Lite.
And,
I had a DS
It was
Lite.
a really pleasant time. Yeah, makes sense. What did you have on your DS Lite? You remember any games?
Spider-Man Friend or Foe.
Yeah.
I had like it was something like Sims Detective or something.
Mm-hmm.
I had a sea monster game that was like prehistoric sea monsters, and you could like put them in a little
Spectrobes?
fish tank. I don't know what that is.
Interesting.
I had a. Was it like Lost in Blue or something like that?
Oh yeah, for sure. On the island.
Yeah, yep. And that's really all.
Those are popular.
All I can remember.
Nice. But I played this. It's a simple 2D side-scrolling Mario. It's inoffensive. The graphics are a little crunchier than I remember, but mostly because I was playing it emulated, not on a tiny little screen on original hardware. DS stuff is tough, man. There's some games that are just lost to time. Like we'll never be able to like properly enjoy Nintendogs again. But
my sister had Nintendogs. Yeah.
Good shit. In the meantime, it's nice when some of these games translate pretty well and we can enjoy New Super Mario Brothers still in glorious HD. The last thing that I have on here is I added one extra slide. Can you click on that?
Yeah.
When, Colin? When?
Soon.
When will you be playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth?
I'm gonna try to get back to it. I did admittedly fall off around Costa del Sol. Is that right? Costa del Sol.
Tifa too hot for you?
Yeah, actually,
Couldn't handle seeing Aerith in a bathing suit?
Literally, I played the first, I don't know, 12 hours of this game, and Allie was never around. And then as soon as Tifa and Aerith show up in their bathing suit, Allie walks in, is like, "What are you playing?" I swear this isn't the whole game. I swear.
Now, between the last time, and this is kind of GameList adjacent, I think you should do it at some point, and I'll maybe talk about it at some point as well. But I went and I ranked my favorite games of all time. I took any game that could possibly be a candidate for my top 100 games.
Ooh.
And then
did you make a top 100?
Compiled them onto a list, right? So I took it, ended up being 192 games, and I then started sliding them around and ranking them. I came up with my list.
Oh, do you have it?
I do. I have my top 190. It's like 194 games now or some shit like that.
Give me 36 through 43.
I am happy to do so. My 36th favorite game of all time is Sayonara Wild Hearts, followed by Tinykin.
Okay.
Tinykin, Pokemon Silver, Final Fantasy 14. Number 40 is Kingdom Hearts 3. Number 41 is God of War 2018. Number 42 is Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. Number 43 is Super Monkey Ball for the GameCube.
Wow. I should do that. I actually did a thing recently. I can't pull it up because it will break everything, but it was like it was going around on Twitter. It was like a picture of all of your favorite games, kind of like a top 25-ish. I did that, and I've got like some of my top 25, but I don't have them in order. It'd be so hard for me to order my games.
It was really hard. It was a fun stream. I did like a 4-hour stream where I compiled all this stuff and did it. And I used a website, ggapp.io.
GG, yeah,
really, really nice.
I have GG. I've had it for a long time. I'm glad more people are finally finding it.
But the reason I bring it up here is I was worried about recency bias when I made this list, and because of that, I was a coward. And I put Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as my second favorite game of all time.
Dang.
And I still want to give it a year or so before I make that call. But it might be my favorite game of all time, man.
What is your number one?
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, okay.
And number 3 is Super Mario 64. Like, catch me on the right day, and I feel like any of my top 4 could be my favorite game of all time.
I get
It's Kingdom Hearts 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Super Mario 64, and then Final Fantasy X. And then rounding out my top 10, I have Zelda Tears of the Kingdom at 5. Number 6 is Fable. Number 7 is Final Fantasy VII Remake. Number 8 is Breath of the Wild. Number 9 is Burnout 3. Number 10 is Sonic Adventure. Number 11 is Outer Wilds. The list goes on and on and on.
I'm desperately trying to find
me.
That
you guys know where to find me at fuckamazingstreamer.com. There's links to everything that you need to find.
Harass me. I'm trying to find. I like the ones where you can just stick in, like, you add all the stuff that you like, and then it will ask you a question of like this or this, and then you just have to pick it, and then at the end it orders based on your answers. So it's like I would rather do something like that because I feel like that's like truly unbiased, of where you're just like saying this or that.
Sure.
But I'm desperately trying to find this picture of my.
It's
top
nice though
games.
that you can reorder things, which is really nice.
Yeah.
You have to get through Final Fantasy, man. It is a holy experience, and you like Remake enough to love Rebirth. I'm positive about it.
I found my picture, and while it's not in order at all, I will say my top 5 games on the top of this picture, not necessarily ever, but Sly Cooper 2, Sly 2, Band of Thieves, Dishonored, Nier Automata, Skyrim, and Citizen Sleeper were the top 5 games that I thought about.
That's fair, yeah. I mean, I feel like you've talked about those at length quite a bit.
Yeah.
On the show, so I would attest.
Some
That'd
other
be a pretty accurate list.
Funky ones.
Where do you think
in here?
Ice Age Scrat's Adventure would?
Are you ranking every game you've ever played?
No, only candidates for the best. And now that I'm getting in there, and I've found some candidates that have dropped to like that bottom 150 or so, I've starting to like go and like I was uncomprehensive in my ranking, so now things are a little off. Where like to get it, I was like, well, I love every Ratchet and Clank game, but like only ones that have like a chance to be in like my top 50 or top 100 are like Ratchet and Clank 2016 Remake, the original Ratchet and Clank, Into the Nexus, and Up Your Arsenal. So I just grabbed 4 out of the franchise when there's really like 9 that I love. And
you didn't
rank,
add Rift Apart? I thought you were red hot on that.
Oh,
game.
I said Into the Nexus. I meant Rift Apart.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. The only ones that made it were actually Rift Apart and I think Up Your Arsenal, which is the third one on PS2.
Yeah.
are my two favorites.
See, that's my problem. Is like Sly 4. I
Yeah.
hate it because it's a bad Sly game, but in terms of games ever, it's still a Sly game, so it's up there.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
you end up really liking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Like it really forces you. It was a fun list to make because it really forces you to like reconcile where things stand on your favorite games of all time. Like
Yeah.
there's just things that like Wii Sports has to be in there. You know, it
That's
has
true.
to be in your
That's
top
true.
10.
Yeah.
And like, where do you put something like a Stardew Valley or like a Destiny 1 that basically doesn't exist anymore, but was a huge part of your life? That kind of thing. Like, where does Fortnite go? Where does Marvel Snap and Heroes of the
Did
Storm
you
go?
add Final Fantasy VII First Soldier?
No, not on the list. Neither is Final Fantasy VII. What's it called? Crisis Core, which
Core?
I really like, but not in my top 100.
You know,
Final Fantasy VII original is number 16, in between Ocarina of Time and Mass Effect 2.
Crisis Core is like the physical is almost impossible to get your hands on now. Like the PS5 version, it's very limited.
You should find it.
I should find it. No, I don't have it. It's one of the few that I don't have.
You'd love to have it. Really good.
I probably wouldn't play it, but I want to buy it and have it.
Yeah, I gotta get some extra stuff on there. There's some gaps. It's hard to manage a list of 200 games and then try to figure out like what's on it and what's not. Where I'm like, oh fuck, which Saints Row is on there again? Did Little Big Planet like 1 and 2 make it and 3 didn't, or that kind of thing?
There's so many games like that that are lost to time in my like PS2 days as a child. Like a game that I think about often is Shepherd's Crossing. I don't know if you ever played that. It was a farming simulator for the PS2. And it's recently come out on Steam, I believe, and it's supposed to be coming out.
Oh, I have seen this fucking game.
Yeah, it's supposed to be coming out on PlayStation, like a remaster soon, but it's been like radio silence for a long time.
This looks cool. I'd play the fuck out of this.
Dude, it is so good. I loved it as a kid, but the story of... So, I loved it as a kid. Loved that game.
Looks like it could be religious. Is it religious?
Hold on. How do you spell shepherd?
Maybe it's just the term shepherd.
Shepherd's Crossing. No, it's not religious. It's just a farming game. It's a cute little like chibi farming game.
Very Harvest Moon core.
Yeah, but like it... I played it as a kid, loved it, had a PS2 copy of it, and... I got pissed at my sister one day for some reason, and this was her favorite game. I got pissed at my sister, so I went and I just scratched the disc to the point of no return where it would not work.
What a piece of shit, dude.
Dude, I still feel so horrible about that because I also loved that game, and I was like, I don't care if I like it. I just want to make sure she can enjoy it.
Yeah, you're just fucking being
I just
mad, dude.
Scraped that disc.
A little sassy fucking Colleen.
Man, that was horrible. I feel so bad because it's like I loved that game.
You should text her and apologize.
Well, I am not going to do that, but I did send her this, and I said, hey, look, Shepherd's Crossing is back. I actually do think it's out on Switch, so she could play it on her Switch if she wanted to.
Are you going to give it to her? You should gift it to her.
You can't gift on Switch is the problem.
Give her a $20 eShop card or something.
No, I'll pass.
Okay.
Have you played Rusty's Retirement? Have you heard about that? It's like a...
I have. It's like the game that lives in like the bottom fifth of your fucking game, like of your screen.
Yeah, very interesting. I kind of want to try it out, but I don't think I'd be very productive if I did.
It's like an idle farming sim, from what I understand. That is supposed to be just like a multitasking ADHDer's dream. So while you're working on one thing, you have this little farm happening in the bottom of your screen, and you can kind of go and fuck with it.
Yeah. And then I keep hearing about. We listen to the same podcast. So Hanson going on about Dome Keeper. Have you played this? Is it any good?
I've looked into it. It doesn't seem like it's up my alley. It's like 3 or 4 years old. It was an indie darling when it came out.
I'm saving up to get a Peloton when I graduate because I want to be able to like lose some of this pharmacy school weight, but also not have to go outside. So I'm trying to get like a Peloton and then just play games while I'm on a Peloton.
I have a what's it called? Like it's like a fucking Amazon brand, like $300 like mid-range, not mid-range. It's lower end, but it's not the lowest end.
Yeah.
The brand is like Yosuda or whatever. bike.
Yeah.
Like it's not a Peloton. It doesn't have like the classes or anything like
Sure.
that, but it's also a fraction of the price. And I just
Sure.
fucking pull it out from like, it's on the right side of my desk. And I like pull it out like every other day, like 3 or 4 times a week. I just pull it out and stick it right in front of my computer and watch an episode. Like right now I'm crunching through fucking Atlanta, and I'll just like ride the bike for 30 minutes and watch like an episode or 2 of Atlanta or whatever I'm watching, like while I'm on the bike. It's a very good plan. Stick with your plan to just like, as somebody who is pretty fucking like, I don't leave the house much or do much. Like I walk when it's nice, but I bought that this winter when it was like, well, I can't really just like go and walk around the fucking neighborhood right now. I got to get something so that I actually like do something other than sit. And it's a fun way to do things. I don't like gaming. I thought I would like gaming when I was doing it, but I ended up liking watching like episodes of TV, and I save the episodes of like what I'm watching. Like I can only watch it if I'm doing bike.
Yeah.
Like
I get that.
Makes it its own thing. So I'm like, oh, I want to watch like, you know, I started with Dave. Have you watched Dave?
It's got Lil Dicky. I think I watched the first episode. I wasn't a huge fan of it.
Me either. It took me a couple, but I only watched that when I biked. I got through the whole thing and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's definitely like my plan, because I've got a new apartment that's a little small apartment. So I guess this will be the last time you guys will see this setup here.
End of an era.
Yeah,
we've been through. This is going to be our third call-in era, and we've had a couple like when we caught you, like we were staying at like an Airbnb or something like that as well.
So it'll be, I had my old place, and then I moved here, and I've been here for a year, and I'll be leaving here, going home for a month and a half. So next month, I think you'll actually see my home bedroom.
I think we've seen that before too.
Probably. And then after that, I'll be at my new place in Memphis, living in Memphis, Tennessee. So having a good time there.
Nice. You got your own place in Memphis?
I do. Finally, I have my own place. I'm so thankful.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick.
Jeez.
Is that your first time ever living alone?
Yeah, technically.
Well, outside of the Airbnbs that you've stayed in.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is good training. I mean, you stayed in them for like a month, and then like you know what it's like to live alone a little bit. But that's always
love
fun.
it.
Yeah,
I love living alone.
Oh yeah, prime time.
I hate roommates. I hate them.
Yeah, I get it. Never easy.
I'm so tired.
You gotta find the right one for it to really click. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, but it's really nice. It's a place out by the river. So we're like right on the river. So I've got a place for the dog to enjoy. But it's got like a dining room area that I'm repurposing into an office. So I bought 2 new shelves to put up behind me. And I'm going to have like one shelf here, and then the K directly behind. So I'm hoping to have like a nice like look for the streaming setup. And hopefully my statues that are so far away and not visible now will be kind of closer and better lit so you can see them on stream. So I'm hoping to have a better backdrop for stuff. So
yeah.
I'm excited.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
All this and more to look forward to. So you're going to be settled then, and then you're going to possibly be going out to the West Coast at the beginning of June. But for further GameList stuff, back on a monthly schedule.
Yes.
Will be, first half of every month you'll hear from us for our regularly scheduled shit, but June will probably be a little thicker than normal because we'll probably want to get on the horn as soon as possible, especially if we're both available after some of these conferences and whatnot. Do your own independent research on what's coming out in between now and then and when those conferences are, and expect GameList hours after. Boom. Easy as that.
Yes.
We're not holding your hands.
Absolutely.
Colin, where can they find you?
Colleen _ at Colleen _ pretty much everywhere.
Hell yeah. Soon Doc Colin.
Maybe.
At gmail.com or something.
I don't know if I want to go through the whole rebranding stuff because that seems like a lot of work.
It's worth it. It's so fun.
Are you saying my brand is bad, Jake?
I wouldn't say that a good brand includes an underscore, yeah.
Well,
But you got to get there.
Somebody took it. Somebody took it. I'm not. I don't know. We might rebrand. We'll think about it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a real do as I say, not as I do situation. I would actually fucking blow my brains out in a video game.
I'm gonna rebrand to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's gonna be my new tag.
Ooh.
Just call me.
Sounds like a fat W.
But you have to say my full name every time. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh, are you Final Fantasy VII Rebirth?
Final Fantasy V Rebirth? Vi?
You can find me at amazingstreamer.com. Colin, you're streaming on Twitch as well?
Yeah, I'm back on Twitch. Nice. YouTube was a disaster. What a horrible streaming platform. Like, it's great for,
I was streaming on YouTube
videos,
and Kick and Twitch for a while, and I bailed. I'm back on Twitch only. I never left Twitch, but...
Yeah, YouTube is horrible for discoverability for streams. Just miserable.
Yeah. Now YouTube AI just picked up YouTube is horrible, and this video will get pushed out to a negative amount of people. It's actually taking old videos away from them as we speak now.
YouTube is wonderful.
YouTube's so good. YouTube, thank you.
YouTube.
You can find me at amazingstreamer.com for everything that you need. You want to do us a favor, if you like our conversation, just go find us somewhere else.
Yeah.
A like or a subscribe or a rate or a review or a nice message in the comments or a like on our silly little videos that we post across the internet, or popping into one of our chats is the best thing that you can do.
Yeah, if you follow me on Letterboxd, I will send you a random Steam key. How about that?
No, they're not supposed to follow you on Letterboxd. It's your fucking, isn't it your government name?
No. It was just.
Oh no, it was good.
Honestly, I don't even care. My government name's not that different from my online persona, anyways. You know, it's like I know Greg Miller's government name. You know, it's like I don't.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Come and find me. I'll fight you on my front lawn. I'm very scrappy and I fight dirty. I'll like bite and scratch and shit.
Wow.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare to fight.
Just
me.
throw lobster
very
at
skilled.
him and then he's toast.
Yeah, that's true. That is
Bring him
weakness.
armed
just,
with
like,
shellfish and he's gone.
just
He's
hold
done
like
for.
dual bees in your hand and stab me with their stingers and you fucking automatic W, bro.
Oh my
but if
gosh.
you let me get my fucking paws on you, I'm strong man.
Strong man. Yeah.
And that's the show.